Welcome to the very, very, very strongest One Piece podcast. I am your host, Captain Bill. And don't be surprised when I tell you this, but I have a crew of over 8,000 pirates behind me. But here today, I only need two. My Nakama on this voyage through the Grand Line. First Mate Justin and Rice Saver Lou. Every week, we go over the legendary anime and manga series One Piece at a time. This week, we're covering episodes 103 through 110. Remember, there are going to be spoilers for all the episodes we cover today, so don't fuck your day up. Watch these episodes, and then come back and enjoy. Enjoy a little time with friends, talking about One Piece.
Yeah, that's a my bad, guys. I had somebody DM us on Twitter and mention or suggest that maybe we should just remind the people that we're going to be spoiling.
There's going to be spoilers up in this.
In case they if they jump into the latest episode. Remember, every episode someone's first.
Oh, this is true.
Remember that time when we spoiled the ending to
One Piece?
No, it was I can't remember the fucking game anymore. That boss fight game. I don't even remember.
Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus. I played it for 20 hours. I'm like, what's that game where you fight? I played it for 20 hours less than a month ago. I can't even remember the name of it.
All-time classic.
All-time classic.
First of all, my favorite video game of all time. The one, it's there's
Bard?
a horse and there's
Shadows in the Class. Yeah,
the classes.
The
classes.
X-Men versus Colossus, the X-Men character.
Okay. Enough silly stuff. What have you guys been up to?
Well, you said no silly
I'll talk
stuff.
at once now. Oh, well, you got something. Okay, Lou, say something silly.
Well, it's not
That's
silly.
fine.
No, I think it's going to be.
Now everyone's going to think we're a
thing.
silly podcast.
We're a strong podcast, not silly.
I'm a serious man. Look at me. I'm serious. You can't.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you
serious.
look pretty serious.
Yeah, I'm very serious.
All right, tell us something serious.
I'm getting up there in age. We've been talking about at least birthdays coming up because Captain Bill's birthday is on the horizon.
That's true.
I've been thinking about it.
Season.
I'm like,
actually, let's say what our birthdays are so people can send us gifts.
December 13th, Sagittarius. What up?
Wednesday.
What?
That's my birthday.
Miss Wednesday.
Miss Wednesday.
It's January 11th.
Justin, when's your birthday? Yeah.
It's January 11th, but yeah, for as the crow flies, listeners, that would be August 25th.
Wednesday. That's what I said.
Yeah, no, but they don't know. The episode's coming out on Friday.
So make sure
they would
you
think it's
wish
the
Bill
first.
So make sure you give me the gift on Wednesday.
The next Wednesday? So the first?
No, they should just know.
Oh, they should just know. Never mind.
Yeah,
You're right.
it's Captain Bill's birthday.
I'm trying to milk as many gifts for as many Wednesdays as I can get here.
Look, 2 Wednesdays in a row. Oh, you fucked up and you gave it to me on the wrong Wednesday? Well, I guess you better give me another gift for the Wednesday you missed.
All you listeners out there, I want you to know, Bill's a big, workout kind of guy, so get him Original Soylent. He loves it. He drinks those babies all fucking day. Get him a pallet of it.
That's not the reason that I like Original Soylent. I like Original Soylent because I like there to be no joy in my entire life.
I know, you say that all the time. Based off the video games you play.
It's all the games that I play.
He literally... I watched
All right,
Bill,
yeah, we can get into this. Speaking of joyless, yeah, go ahead.
Well, let me at least just say from my perspective, Bill's been playing a certain video game and just fucking miserable. He's like, this game's not even good. It looks like a cell phone game. This fucking rogue type shit, and it starts me back, blah, blah, blah. He finally beats it, right? And I'm like, oh, well, at least that's off your plate. Now you can do a different thing. He's like, yeah, but I was talking to my friend, and he's right. I should play it 9 more times. That's That way I could fully enjoy the experience.
That is a true thing. Some of you probably already know from that description that we are talking about Hades.
Oh, you don't like Hades?
No, I don't
fucking
really like Hades.
love
I don't like it at all.
Hades.
That's why I'm playing it again.
Yeah, I probably will do the 10 victories so that way I can let the credits roll.
10?
on
You
that
can hear
godforsaken
the
game.
you can hear the story from your mommy at the end.
Okay. Here's part of the problem that I had with Hades is one, I'm just not a big roguelike guy. I'm learning to accept this about myself without judgment. You know, I'm just trying to let it be a thing that I just don't really like this kind of game because I also played Enter the Gungeon and I thought it was really cool, but it annoyed me that I kept just starting at the same level again. Okay, here's the thing about roguelikes. Sorry in advance to all the listeners who love roguelikes so much.
And Hades.
Oh, it's a new level every time. It's new. No, it's not. It's the same fucking level. We all just because they shuffled a few pixels around, you think that's a new level? You think look in the mirror and tell yourself that's a new level.
I
It's
don't
not.
get it though, because you love Dark Souls. You love From Software.
It is that is
love
kind of
Dark
interesting
Souls.
because a lot of that game revolves around going back to the last spot you were and getting like a little bit farther. So you're like in the same area a lot.
Yeah, so in Dark Souls, you might grind in the same area a lot, but you're going to move to the next thing. And here's an important part. The next boss, I'm a big boss fight guy. So the fact that here's my thing with Hades. And you know, some of you are going to point out that this is an important factor of why I didn't enjoy my time with Hades that much.
I can't wait because before you even say it, it's going to be the same reason why you didn't like Yakuza.
No, that's not true.
Really? What weapons did you use in Yakuza?
Shut up, Lou.
Okay.
So what
Alright,
Lou's
go on.
talking about
Sorry.
is that I pretty much only used the fist the whole way through.
The fist? What the hell are you talking about, Bill?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
The hands, dude. I gave him the hands.
Oh gosh.
Okay,
Eat
so
for everyone.
Yeah, that's right. Let these boys know.
Oh my gosh.
So with Hades, I'm playing this game, and I know there's a story, but I was under the impression that this is the thing with the roguelikes that I've played, is that the story is almost just there as a reason for you to be in the game world. The story's not that relevant. And I was really annoyed by every fucking room I go into, the main character has to say some stupid little quip like we're playing Gex 64 out here.
Oh yeah, Dante.
So-
What's his name?
Zagreus or something?
Zagreus. Yeah, he's such a little punk.
Dude, he has to have a little one-liner. It's like literally you punch a one-hit kill like enemy, and he's like, "Oh, that'll teach him." I'm like, no, it won't. It won't.
didn't
So
think
I muted.
You didn't
I
think
muted
Hades
the
looked
voice
cool?
acting. What's that?
You muted the voice acting, and you didn't get to
Yes,
hear
I did.
Hades say all his "oh boy."
Oh yeah,
he's doing
I don't
paperwork. That's my
hate
favorite
Hades.
part.
Oh, yeah. So the thing is, I was texting my friend Christo about the game, and he was like, "So you didn't pay attention to the story? The story is like the best part." I
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, no, I didn't." And it's funny because I was texting my friend Alex about it while I was playing because I was getting. So here's what was happening. I chewed through the first 3 bosses, no problem, over and over and over and over again. And I thought the game was not really that difficult until I got to Hades, and then I would keep dying in that second phase
Yeah.
of the boss fight. And basically what it felt like to me is the first 3 bosses and that whole run up to Hades is just like an extended boss run. It'd be like if I was fighting a Dark Souls boss and I'm like, okay, I'm dying and I just want to respawn and go for that fight again. Like I want to get my fight in, you know? But instead of doing that, I had to run through literally the entire game again, which I guess you could make the argument as like an arcade game or whatever, but it's just, I found it really tedious because...
You could also make the arcade make the argument that it'd probably be easier if you ran through it with a weapon. You don't run to a boss fight in Dark Souls with your fists and go, I don't get it. Why do I keep losing?
First of all, I was fucking up pretty much everything else in the game besides Hades with the fists. So
Besides the boss. Besides the bad guy.
Besides the thing that makes
final
you
boss.
go
All the other bosses,
further.
I'd shoot them up. Yeah, no problem.
Oh, yeah?
Me,
I was Good.
Personally, my playthrough, I was Mr. Spear. I had that spear.
Mr. Oh my god. Okay, listeners, imagine
And then I
being
would
a
throw
spear
it,
user.
and it'd come back to me.
Oh
That's
my
fucking
God.
tight.
It is
That's
tight.
some like God of War shit.
That
Yeah, you
could
throw like
never
an
be
axe
me.
and you like
I do
pull
the
back.
spinny move where I spin
And then you do
around.
like a backstab on the person because it comes through.
Oh, yeah. And get that bonus
cooler.
damage.
That could
Bonus.
never be me, a spear
See,
user.
Yeah, we know it can't ever be you. This is the same reason why you played Last of Us 2 and you were like, oh shit, I'm playing as Abby. Look at her arms. Fists only. You just beat the shit out of everyone.
Hey, it's different. Abby was jacked. She was.
Yeah, that
she-
is different.
That's
Hey,
why.
Zagreus has some gains, dude. Let's not
No.
dismiss the
I mean,
gains
but
here.
those are cheat gains because he's a god.
He's a Greek god.
Because
Yeah.
they all kind of look like that. My favorite. No, I love those. I love the characters. Meg was like one of my favorite characters. Megara.
Oh yeah, every time I saw Meg, I was like, oh, here's the part where I just mash the B and Y button together and just melt her health bar in 2 seconds and go on to the next spot.
No, I talked to Meg in the bar like between runs.
Oh yeah, well when I talked to the characters, I was like, these characters don't give me items
They
to
do
like
though.
do more damage or whatever, so I
they
stopped
do.
talking to them.
So let me get this straight. Okay, hold on.
They do though.
You played a game using only your fists and none of the other items that they gave you. You also played a game that's supposed to have a really good story and you zipped through it because they wouldn't give you items that you wouldn't use and you didn't have a good time.
You know, when you say it like that, yeah, I don't know. It's just, you know, one of my flaws as a game player is that I rely on fundamentals way too much because I feel like I have very well developed like game fundamentals. Mm-hmm. And so I'll get into a game and it'll start telling me like what the
How to play the game.
yeah, like what the little like special tricks are, and I'm like, no, I get it. I have a hit and I have a dodge. That's all I need to know.
You mean I can dash?
I'll beat
I'm
any
dashing,
fucking game. Yeah, like I have a hit, a dodge. That's all I need to know. All I have to do is just hit and dodge right, and then the game is I'll fuck every boss up. Like it's no problem.
It's just about being good enough. Yeah, that's like
Exactly, and that's why it wasn't until like 4 hours into Bloodborne, Justin was like, you can use your gun to parry, right? And I was like, what? And then I started realizing that like all these bosses, like I was like, man, these bosses have a lot of health, but it's like because you can gun parry them and then do like a big critical.
Visceral,
But like
yeah.
I was just dodging and like I was just like doing perfectly timed dodges, and like I was like, yeah, if I just get perfect at dodging, then I don't have to worry about all these other.
It took Bill 30 years to figure out in order to interact in society, he doesn't have to punch and dash. You can talk to people, right? You know this. Oh, shit.
Well, I've been talking to people for years and they don't give me any items, so I'm like, all right, dash and hit.
Dash and hit, baby.
I'm sorry, Bill. I should have given you more items when you talked to me.
Yeah. So I think I do want to give Hades like more of a shot, and that's part of why I want to do a couple other runs. Also, I've just been like, now that I've actually beaten Hades, I've been looking at like what other people do. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
like-
those are pretty good strategies. Like, kind of want to.
Yeah, you kind
Try
of
some of those.
do your build, you can
You
craft
actually
your
build,
build a little bit
yeah.
based on what drops.
Yeah, my build is pretty much like
Punch, punch,
get
punch.
my shit as
stab,
strong
stab,
as
stab.
possible. Like, get the Doom effect, and just
Oh, and
go
you use
in
the
there
Doom
and
effect.
smash.
Do you have like a favorite god that you prefer, like to get like off the bat?
No, when I was using the fist, the thing that I was looking out for the most was the hammer, like the upgrade. The
Okay.
hammer. So Lou, for the hammer is basically just a symbol to let you know that you're going to get a weapons upgrade when you get to pick one of 3. And I really always wanted either the one that made my dash attack more powerful, since I was mostly just dashing and punching. And there was also one that if you use your special attack, you can gain 2% of your health back. And getting any kind of regenerative thing
Yeah, for a game
is
with no
really
health.
important in this
Yeah.
game because they don't give you any fucking health drops.
Yeah, they give you like next to nothing. And then when they do have stuff, it's like they want you to pay a certain amount of gold. You're like, really? Am I going to pay
You gotta
that
pay
much?
money in hell? Oh, I guess it's hell.
You do. You do get
welcome
money.
to hell, baby.
But
fucking
like,
student loans
you
are
see
gonna
all this
follow me
other
there.
cool stuff that you could be using your money on, and you're like, oh, do I have to use it on this potion because I wasn't playing good?
A little give
No,
and
I was
take.
pretty much always saving my money to either get the Death Defiance, which basically gives you like another life
Yeah.
or like half of life, or healing.
Yeah.
It was all fundamentals the whole way through. That's how I did it.
Wait, are you gonna do the replay, all 10 of them, fundamentals only, or you gonna change it up?
Well, I saw someone doing this like cheese where they pick a shield and then you can actually block all of Hades' attacks.
That's what I used. The shield.
Oh, so yeah, there you go. Yeah, and you can get a buff where it's like if you get hit, the buff does damage. And I kept thinking like every time that one came up, I was like, oh, that sounds good because it does a lot of damage. But the point is to not get hit. So I don't want to get a thing that incentivizes me getting hit because I need to just play better. You know?
Get good.
Exactly.
Nah, you're gonna default to cheese. Everyone, stay tuned for Bill's cheese run. You've got 10 runs that you have to do to get the end credits.
I have
one of those
9
is gonna
more.
be. One of those is going to be a fucking cheese run, and I'm there.
They
for
might
it.
all be cheese runs once I get going. It might be kind of.
It better be Parmesan on top. I can't wait, because I'm gonna be sitting here hearing you yell in the room.
Ride the ride, boy. Ride the ride. That was my favorite in Bloodborne. You get the World Gig Saw, which is like.
Which is so
It's just
funny
like
because
like
Bloodborne, you were like, they don't drop any weapons. I can't get any weapons. And then you finally got like an upgrade to your weapon where it's just a fucking buzzsaw.
There's
It's a
whole bunch of
buzzsaw,
weapons.
and the enemies just flop around on the end of this thing. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
just get stagger locked, and they just ragdoll physics around on the end. So they're just like whirling around on the end of this saw. So Lou comes out because I'm just yelling at all these like werewolf dudes. I'm like, ride the ride, and they're all just spinning around on the end of this.
But the best part is, this isn't even like this thing where like, oh, Bill thinks it's funny, like making other people laugh. Like I remember specifically coming home from work. I'm outside the door trying to put the key in, and I hear him yelling in the living room, ride the ride, ride
Yeah,
the ride.
I'll yell at video game. I don't need anyone. I'm having a blast. Like I'm yelling at games, whether I'm winning or losing. I'm yelling at the screen.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it enhances the experience, and you know what? Get the most joy out of it, Bill.
Yeah. Hey,
and use the
I paid my
spirit.
money. I paid my money for this.
I paid
game.
my
better
money.
be able to
I'm
yell
riding
at
the
it.
ride. I paid my money.
Yeah.
Was what do I want to talk? Because I could talk about my my experience with
With Hades.
Returnal.
Oh, Returnal.
Let's stay on the same like road.
Oh, I didn't even get to. I didn't even get to tell you guys though. What I'm planning on doing. Like I said, I've been thinking about age. Like your birthday's coming up. Mine's coming up in December, and I'm like, you know what I need to do? Like I've been working out lately because I'm trying to
Alright.
get that Zorro body.
All right.
And I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a nude photo shoot for my 30th birthday.
You've done that though.
I've never done a nude photo shoot.
You've done a new photo
You ever
shoot.
done a nude photo shoot?
I've done it for other people, but not for me. I'm gonna set
Oh, okay.
up
Oh, this is
a
for
whole
you.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like a whole. Like when John Malkovich, Bill, he's an actor. He's a very talented actor. He did a whole photo shoot, like recreating
Con Air?
famous photographs. No, not Con Air. He was getting that though. But like Migrant Mother or Salvador Dali, like all these iconic photos of these people.
Yeah.
And I want to do something similar.
But with
except
dogs, right?
They're not. No, even better is
That's a William
this is
Wegman.
how I'm gonna pitch it to people I send these nudes to, which you guys are first on the list because I don't really have anybody else to send nudes to. But they're not even
That's what
gonna
you're
be
getting me for my
recreations.
birthday.
They're just gonna be nude photos of me, and I'm gonna print them for you guys for for my 30th birthday, which I'm turning 32 this year. But I figure I'm a little late to the game, but better time than ever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Don't send them to
stay
me, though.
tuned. No, you're getting them in the mail.
Well,
You're
okay.
gonna get it.
Well, yeah.
They'll be tasteful. They'll be tasteful. They're in black and white.
Just don't send them. Yeah, don't send them to my phone. My kid opens the phone and sees Uncle Lou's salami sandwich. He's not gonna.
Oh no! These are
Don't
gonna
worry,
be,
listeners. I'll
they're gonna
post
be
them on the
printed and
Instagram.
framed. Yeah, fuck yeah! Look at me, Uncle Lou, 32, looking good.
Actually, all Jacob would do
Lou.
is just say pee pee. He just
Yeah, don't show your kid my pee-pee, please.
No, he'll let me know. That's the thing. Like if there's one around, he'll run and find it.
You better have it on your fridge though, highest part of your fridge, so Jacob doesn't see it. But
Jacob finds everything on the fridge. He's found things on the top of the fridge. I don't know how he does it.
all right, well then put it on your nightstand.
You wanna understand? My son is like Lupin the Third. He is the He's a
In what
master
way?
thief.
What's he been getting his little hands on?
He'd climb up the side of the house and go into the windows, break in
Just like his old man.
to get what he wants. Yeah. No, but this weekend was actually really fun. Me and the wife, we had like a little date night. Her dad had Jacob for over, for a sleepover, and I was very hesitant. But my wife, since neither
wife.
one of us have seen it, convinced me to see Twilight on Netflix.
Ooh.
And
How
let me
was
tell you
that?
something. Fantastic movie.
Wow.
Whoa! Sparkling vampires? It's your new
gosh.
thing? You're
No,
in?
so this is what I realized maybe 15 minutes into the movie. I was like this. And I looked at Alex, and this made the whole movie so much more enjoyable. We were like, if I didn't know this movie was about vampires, I would have no fucking clue what he is. This whole movie, because it's like he's out in the sun. Has super strength. He could read minds.
He's got
and
skin like a diamond?
He's got like this. He's got like diamond skin. Apparently, he drinks blood. But I would not have guessed vampire based on all of these things.
Does he need to be invited to come into the house?
He does not need to be invited. That's one of my favorite vampire rules. They don't do as much.
Yeah, I
anymore.
like
Yeah.
that rule.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and I do, and I did like a part where they have her over for dinner, and they don't know that she knows they're all vampires, and then something gives it away, and then they throw all the food that they made on the floor because they don't eat it. They can't eat. Mm-hmm. And so,
What was
that
their
the
game
first-
plan?
that was
What
the
were they going to
first-
do?
They were gonna invite her over for dinner.
Yeah, but what was their game plan? Like, if they don't eat food because it makes them sick, what are they going to do? Like, put it in a plant?
It's like eating dirt. Like, so they would just.
Why the fuck would you do that for a high school kid?
It's for your friends, like
Who's like-
to cover for the cover.
Who's like 500 years old and he's trying to like bang a 17-year-old? No.
No, but it was still very funny because they said we've never used the kitchen before. I was like, they have this nice bomb ass kitchen. They've never used it. Like, that's such a great time.
Just
And then I had a third realization, right? Was that those main actors, Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, actually had maybe the hardest acting job anyone's ever had in their entire life.
well, yeah, because he had to keep going like, and
No,
she's like, "Ooh, you're so hot."
No, because it's this one. She's devoid of any characteristic at all. It's like, we were talking about improv earlier. I don't know if we were talking about on the show before. It's like there is no yes and. It's like, what do you like? Nothing. What do you like to do? Be by myself. I'm like, okay, so what the fuck do you do? Like, why? What's going on? What's going on with you? Like, you have no discernible characteristic. Like, so I was like, how is she supposed to play this? Like, as an actor, how do you like?
Yeah, how do you convey a character that people are supposed to like if you don't have any characteristics?
Yeah, and on top of the fact that every character, other character of the show is in love with, or the movie is in love with her, like every single other character find her so interesting. I'm like, but she doesn't do anything interesting.
She doesn't. Yeah, she has like no. They could have like literally been like, oh, she's an artist. She likes to draw, or like she paints, or she like even listens to music. She doesn't even do that. So it's she's literally a blank slate. And they're fighting over her.
But that's what made the movie very enjoyable for me, because I was like, man, I really don't know. Like, because they're like, and you see Robert Pattinson and everybody trying so fucking hard to sell their side of whatever's going on.
Robert Pattinson has a reasoning. It's because her smell is so good.
Yeah, exactly.
Wolfman Puck doesn't have anything.
So it's like, imagine that as an actor, where it's somebody just tells you, it's like, no, she smells so good, like, you know, and you want to eat her so bad. But again, you can't tell, like, you can't give away the fact that you're a vampire or something like that. Like, so he just has this look on his face. He's like,
she smells so good, I can't eat her. She doesn't want. And he's like, she can't know.
He's constantly like, I gotta go, and then he'd like leave. Like,
that's so fucked up, though. It's like if I cooked like a Salisbury steak, and I'm like, I can't eat it. I'm gonna date it.
Yeah, that's exactly.
She's just food to him. How does that translate?
Oh, because they're vegetarians.
Being in love. He's not a vegetarian because he eats fucking deer blood.
No, I'm saying, like, in their instance, it would be like being a vegetarian. They say it's like eating tofu, like, your entire life. Like, you know.
Bill, do you think you could be a vampire?
Bill would be the best vampire.
No, because he'd still have to feed on blood. What's he going to do?
Well, Bill would, like, I feel like once the vampire thing happens to Bill, like, he's gonna go, like, he's like, you know what, I'm fucking vampire, I'm gonna be the best fucking vampire.
He would kill me
first. Have fun to be a vampire, because, okay, as I know Lou knows, but Justin, you might not know this about me, that I am a big fan of Halloween surf rock. And these are novelty songs that are for Halloween and made in like a surf rock aesthetic.
They sound like the Beach Boys, but it's just like a vampire. Like, I was cruising in my car just
the Monster Mash is a Halloween surf rock song.
Okay,
that's like the most well-known one. But
Werewolf Bar Mitzvah, spooky.
Yeah, there's like
scary.
hundreds of these kind of songs. I have a playlist on Spotify that's like 3 hours long of all Halloween surf rock songs that Lee's so tired of hearing me play every Halloween. But it's my favorite part of when October comes around.
You don't even play them on Halloween, though. You play them... It was like 2 months ago you played the fucking surf rock mix.
Yeah, well, I miss it.
Sometimes, the season. It's the season.
Yeah, I miss it. So sometimes I'll play it every now and then, you know?
It's like, sometimes you watch a horror movie. Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be Halloween.
That's true. And to give Bill the credit, too, they're not that bad. Some of the songs...
No, they're amazing.
Some of my favorite ones are the vampire ones, where it's just like... It's just like instrumental. And then a vampire chimes in and just goes...
Yeah, that's literally how it is. Some of them are literally just like surf rock songs. It's like, it sounds like a Dick Dale song, but then every now and then it'll go, like, there'll be like a sound of like chains rustling, and then it'll go, and that's Halloween surf rock. It's an amazing genre. But what I was going to say about Halloween surf rock and about me being a vampire is one of the songs is about this scientist who basically makes a kind of blood that's superior and more addictive than human blood, and it's his riboflavin flavored, non-carbonated, polyunsaturated blood. And yeah, I could be addicted to that stuff, and then I don't have to worry about drinking human blood or animal blood.
Yeah, but
or
then you're
I
like
could be
essentially a smoker. Like, you don't know the side effects of that.
No, this is like Soylent. This is like Soylent to me. Like, this is like vampire Soylent.
It's like, Lou, you'll know this. It's like True Blood. It's like drinking True Blood.
Suki is a man.
Because that's basically the whole premise behind the show. It's like,
and there was a vampire,
blood, and they're like, "Oh, great, perfect. We don't."
And there was a vampire called Bill in True Blood. Did I ever tell you guys about the first time I ever watched True Blood?
No.
I,
I was at
there.
I was no. I was at a party in college, and I like just walked in, got a beer handed to me. We're all hanging out, but True Blood is on the TV, and like 5 people are sitting down watching because they're like, "This is like my favorite show. This is my favorite show of like all time." And I was like, "All right," and like I
And you're like,
turned
it's
and I
not
went to go-
One Piece. Get this shit off
Get the
TV.
fuck outta here.
First of all, I didn't know anything about One Piece. Second
Yeah,
of all,
Lou didn't know nothing about life back then. I tried
was like-
telling him. I
You
tried
did,
telling
you
him.
did. But I was too busy watching True Blood. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'll give it a go. It wasn't even like a minute after they were like, this is like my favorite show. And I'm like watching the TV, and this girl's like walking through a cemetery, and this naked man crawls out of the fucking ground covered in dirt, and they start fucking. And I was
Oh
like,
my
what?
God.
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
like,
great.
what is this? What is this? Like, it's True Blood. And yeah, I was in.
Fantastic. Quality programming. Let me tell you something. When True Blood was hot, it was boiling. Like, it was so good.
Yeah, everybody wanted in on it.
Yeah, it was. I'm not even going to pretend like I didn't, like, love that show when it was on. And I was like, man, this is great.
Hell yeah, you had the cook that was fucking bomb.
Badass,
as
yeah, dude.
shit. Yeah. Here's your AIDS burger, and he spits and he punches a dude in the fucking face. It was sick.
What?
Because
Yeah.
the cook was gay, and the guy said,
And
I
they're in
don't
like a
want that
country
man-
town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
and
people
I
are
said,
being
I want
like,
that man serving me any
discriminatory.
food.
Okay.
I don't want to get AIDS. And then
Yeah.
he spat in his burger.
He
and
comes
said,
out with
"Here's
his
your
burger.
AIDS
Yeah. And he fucking beats his ass, which is sick as shit.
Yeah.
And the
Knuckle
bar
sandwich.
owner,
Lafayette.
the bar
that was
owner
his name, yeah.
was
That's
he was a wolf man.
Yeah, he was actually a zone type.
And he was fucking too, which was sick. That show's all about fucking.
And he was fucking.
Everybody.
I was walking in the lab late one night.
I was fucking in the bar just the other night.
Yeah, that would be the best part about being a vampire is get to have the Transylvanian accent.
Oh yeah, you just get it, right? You
Yeah, well, no, it's part of being a vampire.
Oh god.
My name is Bill.
What? I can do that
Do you
whenever I
have-
want to.
Do you have a kale salad?
Maybe as
Yeah,
a
I'm answering
special-
client emails, and it's like instead of sincerely or best, I'm what?
Where's my rice?
We
You
have, a new,
bitches.
we have a New Zealand team, and sometimes I'll pick up a New Zealand accent and see if I can make that run the whole.
They probably hate it.
No, I mean, I say, yeah, I'm from the New Zealand team, and yeah, your VT400 will be shipped out and sent to you. Let me see, it's Friday here, Thursday there. It might not get there till Tuesday. And I'll do that so I can figure out what the next words I'm gonna say is.
And then they respond back with a crystal clear American accent. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you,
we got it.
Justin. Yeah, that's
Ah,
great.
Central Park.
Central Park in Newark. That's how you get into character. That's how you do it. You say that. But maybe for Halloween we'll do we'll watch the Castlevania series on Netflix. It's only like 6 episodes or something like that. It's not that long.
I heard people like that, but I don't know.
It's pretty
I don't
good.
know.
It's not. It's
Nobody
not bad.
uses their fists. I don't know if I'm into it.
Yeah, that's why I never played Castlevania because you have to use that whip. I'm like, no, I wanna be in their face. Look, when I play a game, I go the big sword, the big bonk stick, or the fist. That's what I do.
Well, Symphony
That's
of the
just
Night.
me.
Symphony of the Night is sword. Like you have a sword the whole time.
I'm gonna
That
make
one
my
has the best music.
Yeah, it
I'm gonna
does have
make
the
my
best
own
music.
tier list of games I've witnessed Bill play where it's just fists only.
Really quick, Lewis.
Yeah.
The guy's name is Alucard. The main character. Guess why his name is Alucard?
A la carte. Is he like? Does he do magic?
Yeah, he does do magic.
I'm in.
Yeah, he's Dracula's son, and Alucard is Dracula spelled backwards.
Okay, I'm out now.
But
And
it also kind of fits the theme of the game, right? Because something turn the whole game world upside down at some point.
So you can beat the
This
game. You
Gambit
can
ass.
you can get to
fucking
the end of the
dude.
game and beat the boss and roll credits. But if you don't explore like the whole like castle, like basically if you played like Bill, you wouldn't be able to beat the game. Like You'd have
What do you mean? I beat the shit out of that Hades like 30 times before.
You can't beat the shit out of mysteries, Bill. You have
But
to
yeah,
explore.
no, you're trying to get to the whole. You try to get to the boss faster, and you gotta look through every nook and cranny and everything.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
you hate reading notes in video games. You hate finding out about the story.
But,
you're always like, give me those
Give
items
me
that I
a
won't use.
boss fight. I don't need these fucking bullshit like Resident Evil little notes. I don't need to find the lore hanging out in a note. You had better put it in a cinematic and then give me a big ass boss fight. That's what I want.
Look, all I'm gonna
That's
say
what I
is
want.
Alucard is not even that good of a name. I think the best
First of all,
playoff
Alucard
of
is
Dracula.
cool as a name.
The best playoff of Dracula's name was in Scrubs when he's like, "I'm Doctor Acula.
That's a band.
I'm here to drink your blood."
Yeah, it was from they because of Scrubs bands they made that. But no, yeah, then they flipped the whole game, and then when you realize it, and then you just play the whole game upside down, and then you realize that the game designers made a game, like they made an entire game built to be played upside down as well, which is pretty brilliant.
That is pretty tight.
Yeah, I played this game that was made by the same people who made Castlevania, or like one of the same designers, called Bloodstained.
Yeah,
And when that game world went so you could go upside down, I was like, wow, this is so cool. This is like such a great idea. And then I found out afterwards that they were just ripping off Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And I was like,
straight
oh,
rip-off,
that makes sense. I've heard of that game. People like it.
I've
It's supposed
heard
to
of
be
that
cool.
game. He sends an email with his fists to the
Blah.
CEO.
Blah.
So catch one of these. Well, guys, I think it's about that time. I think it's about that time we start talking about One Piece. We got our
Some
1 hour in.
Piece.
Yeah, we got
Let's
some
do
episodes.
it.
We have some episodes to go over. Yeah, so it's Alabasta Part 2.
Sweet home Alabasta.
Alabasta.
I don't think a single one of us were in sync for
Oh,
that.
I can change that in editing.
That's just one big audio mess for whoever. Sorry, listener.
Alabasta.
It should
I
have been
was
bad.
in Alabasta late one night when my
I'm going
eyes
to
began-
kick Crocodile's ass just one time.
Okay, so we start off with Toto
Hell yeah.
digging out Yuba, and
He still thinks
We
there's
also-
water left, which is like
Yeah.
so heartbreaking. Which, I mean, I guess there is, but yeah, just to see Toto like so fucking. He's older, he's skinny, he's still holding on to a dream.
he's dried up.
He's dried up, just
Oh,
like you.
dried up. Well, Luffy's gonna get dried up later on.
Well, don't spoil it.
I didn't
to our
watch
one
it.
Twitter follower.
No. Let's not make fun. Let's bum them out.
Yeah, so Toto's digging holes in Yuba to try to find just little bits of water. And while that's going on, we get Crocodile at Rain dinners, introducing himself to the Baroque Works agents for the first time, and they are all shocked to find
Which
out
I
that
thought
it's
was
Crocodile, it's
hilarious.
Mr. Zero.
I thought it was so hilarious because they were like, "Where is he? I thought he'd be here." And Bon Clay's like, "Don't make me dance, I'm a swan." And they're all just like, they've been there for a while. And then his chair spins around. He's like, "I was here the whole time." He never entered. He was already there.
There are some dramatics in this group of episodes that are borderline horrible, but edge towards fantastic. Like it could be so bad if it wasn't so great.
Yeah.
Gosh, I loved that.
One Piece gets
there's
away
so
with a
many-
lot of things because it's an absurdist world to begin with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's excusable. It's not like it's like make or break or anything.
It plays by its own rules a lot of times because it's like, oh no, this is actually really serious. And I was like, that other thing you did wasn't.
But
that
he's sitting in the
serious.
chair the whole time. Well, the thing with Crocodile too, which is why I excuse it so much, is he does some Bond level shit as
Oh, this
far
is-
as like a villain goes.
There's so much Bond in this.
Yeah, this
episode.
character
trapdoors,
is very
the fucking tank full of alligators, which, to be honest, my first time watching, because during this too, where he's like,
It's crocodiles.
he's gathered.
not
They're
alligators.
crocodiles. Yeah, not alligators. Yeah, the banana gators. Actually, the banana gators, not
banana
crocodiles.
wanis.
They weren't called banana dials, all right? So fucking put that in your little pipe and smoke it. Second of all, Second of all, I really thought, because like during the scene, he's like, "Here's my plan," and then they like cut away, and you don't hear the plan. I'm like, he's gonna turn himself into a crocodile, like a real fucking crocodile.
What?
It's gonna be.
He's
you
going to
never
be his
know.
own type
It's
crocodile.
One Piece.
He's going to have the crocodile.
He's got all these
fruit.
crocodiles around him. He calls himself a crocodile. I'm like, this dude just wants to be a fucking crocodile, man. I'm sorry, is that outlandish? Is that crazy to think?
No, it's
Yes, it's crazy and outlandish.
No, and you know what actually would be pretty cool. So if I have the crocodile devil fruit, I'm turning into a crocodile, hanging out with all my crocodile friends, right? Never know who's me.
Oh,
Then you're blending in, camouflage.
And you're in Florida. That's like perfect.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but then they never see the real you. Is that really what you want from your friends?
yeah, all the time.
Well, that's what a fucking crocodile wants to. They're like, nobody knows his identity except for like the Mr. and Mrs. And they don't know him. They're not friends.
Who are we talking about?
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, okay. One thing, I'm going to defend the crocodile just being in the chair the whole time, because we don't see him enter, but he's a Sandman. Could he not go one grain at a time and just like form himself in that chair? That's a cool dramatic entrance that I would definitely do.
That means he
if I was
starts out as a
Logia.
pile of sand on a chair, which for some reason is funnier than him just sitting there waiting.
Yeah. If you look,
There's
if you
another
look too soon,
pile
it's just
in
his
the
legs
corner.
sitting there.
Or if
There's
like
another pile of sand in the corner, and he's just listening. He's like, any minute now. Once they ask where is he, I'm gonna materialize.
I'm gonna do it.
so
I'm
sick.
gonna do it. They're gonna be like,
fucking-
holy shit, that guy's cool.
I'm gonna go do it,
He
Daniel.
waited for a
I'm
half
gonna
hour
Daniel.
to do it.
Or another thing he could have done, right, is, they came in, right, and he's like spread out so much in the air. So like it's like
Ooh, I
grains
like
of sand
that.
in the air. And if there was like a throwaway line of somebody saying, "Oh, why is my throat so itchy?" Like, then that would be the giveaway that he was in the air the whole time.
Oh.
Why do I keep getting sand
Except-
in my eyes?
I get sand in my
There's
eyes.
sand in my fucking cheeseburger.
And then you hear Crocodile go, "Ah!"
Ow, my toe. Yeah. But yes, we've got the meeting going on. Does this group have a name?
The Brokeworks agents.
Brokeworks, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. And
These are the top agents of the Brokeworks.
I was just testing you guys.
It's like-
so the Brokework agency.
If we're going through the Bond, this is Spectre. This is Spectre. This is what do you call it? The Quantum of Solace. This is all of them like mixed together. So they are the heads of
all the
Brokeworks.
anonymous bad guys, and they have notes with their mission that they then burn afterwards.
Oh, which is
another like
cool.
secret agent thing.
Who would Mr. 3 be? The one who shows up and he's like, "What are you talking about?" And then he gets the trap door to the fucking Banana Gators.
Oh no, he's freaking since he's like exiled or whatever you want to call it. He's like what do you call GoldenEye. He's like an X00. He's
Yeah,
like-
my brain immediately went to.
You think he's
Austin
006?
Yeah, he's 00. He's let in that
Oh,
sense.
don't disrespect Trevelyan like that.
First of all, I love Sean Bean more than anything in my entire life. Enough that I'd like to see him live through the end of
Mr.
something.
Bean?
Yeah, no.
Mr. Bean. I love Mr. Bean.
You're talking
All right.
about Boromir.
You're talking about British intelligence.
that's the
You're
same
talking
guy?
Mr. Bean.
Yeah, it's the same guy, Bill.
Why do I not know anything about any actor in my life?
I
Oh my
don't
God.
know.
I had no
You
idea it was
watch
the same
Stranger
guy.
Things and you were like, "Oh, my favorite character's Gil or whatever his name is."
Best
and
guy
then you watched
Bob.
Lord of the
you mean.
Rings. Bob, and you didn't even realize.
And I didn't realize
it's fucking-
Samwise is best guy Bob. He's
Yeah.
the best guy in 2 universes.
Yeah, no, he's the guy you need beside you, and he's Rudy.
Yeah, and you
know
also
that.
did
Put
He is
Rudy in the game.
Rudy.
All right, so Mr. 3 shows up. Mr. 2 reveals that he's met all the Straw Hats. And
Which is very
Yeah, we get
sad.
the
He's got to make
off-screen-
photos of them. Like
Oh, those-
Bon Clay is
Well,
very
they were
upset at the
illustrations,
fact
right?
that
Oh yeah, they make photos. Oh yeah, they make
Yeah,
photos
no,
of
he-
Bon Clay posing as the different characters, and like Usopp's like picking his nose.
they did.
Yeah,
him
no, that
dirty.
was a good
They did
one.
him so dirty.
But I love the high-res photos they get. See, this is why you can't go, it's going to be completely digital, Lou. It's that, you get these high-quality photos of the Straw Hat crew.
First of all, we didn't even see the camera they're using. There's like only one time in One Piece where we see a camera, and it hasn't happened yet. And I tell you what, wasn't fucking digital.
What are you talking about? There's a lot of times we see cameras.
We never see a camera. Look,
strongly disagree.
Take it from me. We'll, a guy who's about to make
how did they get that picture
for
of
your
Luffy?
Birthday. You didn't see the camera?
Yeah, I guess he just illustrated it really quick.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Later on, we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, all this is going down. Mr. 3 gets trapdoored. Crocodile's upset, but they are now on the hunt for the Straw Hats. They're at least keeping their eyes out for these boys. And at the same time, they're leaving Yuba, and Luffy says, I quit. Just fucking gives up on the whole mission.
Why's he doing that, Bill?
He's got to quit because you want to fight with no casualties. You're too soft-hearted, like he's talking to Vivi.
Mm-hmm.
People die. That's what he says. And we see a fight between Luffy and Vivi. And she's like, well, my life is all that I have. That's the only thing I have to give is that's the only thing I want to put on the line because it's the only thing I have. And Luffy says, no, you have all of us as well. And this is like a big turning moment for Vivi, like realizing like to what extent the Straw Hats are willing to put themselves on the line to assist her in her mission.
Aren't we friends? Put our lives on the line.
Yeah.
No,
and for the 100th time, he's just told. What? You wouldn't put your life on the line for me, Justin?
I wouldn't put your life. No, more specifically, I wouldn't put your life on the line for me because this is my fight.
That's fucking rude. You wouldn't let me decide whether or not I want to die for you?
No, so Vivi
I would
is
beat the shit out of a Sandman for Justin.
So here's the
thing. You know what? Wait, real quick,
Vivi
Captain
is
Bill.
Correct.
Your first mate is saying he would not risk his life for you. Are you really going to take that from your first mate?
I would risk my life for Bill, but what Vivi is saying, what she is saying is that my life is the only thing I have to give. And to say that, oh, you also have ours is like, you mean I have your lives to give? Fuck yeah, just throw you guys out there. Like, I didn't know that you guys were a commodity.
I don't feel like that's how that works. It's not like you're fucking $2 short of the cash out line. Somebody's like, oh, I got $2. And you're like, you got anything else? Like,
Yeah, no, but you do. But it is not your $2. It is their $2 that they gave you. Like,
First of all, what Lou just talked about is an amazing play. I need to remember that one. What else you got?
What else you got? I like that keychain you got there.
Oh, no.
Well, we're also skipping the fact that Toto dug out the water all night and gives it to Luffy. I love that little part where he gives him just like the little juice box of water, and Luffy respects it. Like, we saw him guzzling down all this water before, and he's carrying the water around, and Usopp wants him to like share it. He's like, no, this is the Yuba water. This is like,
it's like really good water.
Yeah. The situation in Yuba with Toto, who Luffy calls the dried up old man, really resonates with Luffy. Something about his like dedication and his will to like will this, like, it kind of mimics Luffy's ambition, where like Luffy would keep going for his dream even if it seemed hopeless, and that's what the situation in Yuba is.
So
go ahead.
But does he quit after he gets the water?
Yeah, he said.
Yes.
He says that he quits, and he doesn't really quit. He's saying that he quits because he wants Vivi to acknowledge that they're all willing to put their lives on the line, and they're all going to
specifically,
like, go to that length.
He says I quit because Vivi's whole game plan is like, all right, the rebel base isn't here. We're gonna go to where the rebel base is, and Luffy's like, you just need to fucking stop. Like, I'm telling you, I'm going to take down Crocodile. We're going to, like, essentially what Luffy's getting at is, I quit if we're going to keep running back and forth and trying to, like, talk people into whatever. He's like, the main issue is Crocodile. I'm going to fight Crocodile. Whether I die or not, like, I'm going to fight Crocodile. Like,
It's the fastest.
And it's also that
it's the fastest.
yeah,
solution.
and it's also
cutting out the middle, man.
Not only that, but Luffy recognizes that him going to the rebel army to meet Koza with Vivi is not fruitful in any way. Like, he needs to, like, they need to do what's going to be best, like, what Luffy can do best. It's kind of comes back to the Alabasta or the Arlong Park thing, where it's like, you know, what can I do best? You know, I can't lie, I can't cook, I can't, you know, do all these things, but I can kick your ass. And that's what Luffy is like, I'm gonna, like, I quit because you're not taking all of this into account. And he's like, basically to, like, put everything on the line and to, you know, acknowledge all of that with Vivi.
Yeah. And it goes back to, you know, Chopper and Zoro talking about, like, if you want to be part of this crew, do what you can. And what, you know, what Luffy can do is beat the shit out of Gator Man.
Get him. Line him up.
Get his ass.
That's
Well,
what's
I'm not
actually,
going to fucking do negotiations with rebels, man.
that is actually a really nice consistency they have, like, between all the Straw Hats, is that, like, you know, they really do all have different skills. It's not like Dragon Ball Z where they're all just fighters and that's what they do.
They're all just worse Gokus.
Yeah, they're all just worse Goku. So why did you show up to the tournament, Tien?
You've been washed up since Dragon Ball.
Get out of here!
But yeah, that's Yamcha.
Yeah, Yamcha just always shows up to be the first one killed.
They killed. Great. Now we have to go
Yeah.
find fucking Dragon Ball so we can save your fucking ass.
Just blow
Let's
a wish.
fucking
on
wish
this guy.
Yamcha back, because, you know, I didn't want a fucking jet ski. This is fine. I'll get Yamcha.
Great, Yamcha, the professional baseball player.
Though I do love that one scene when they're training to fight the androids, and they show Yamcha's in like a regular like Planet Fitness, and he's doing crunches on like the cable machine, and he breaks the whole cable machine. Sometimes when I'm in the gym doing crunches, I'm like,
You do that?
this is the one time in my life where I want to be like Yamcha. Though I would be rude to break the whole machine.
Such high goals. Look, if any of us could be just as strong as Yamcha, that would be fantastic. That would be like more
And if
than
anybody here could die like Yamcha, it'd be me. So
a glorious death.
face
it's
down
like-
in the fucking dirt. Yeah.
Dude, I love that scene when, again, in the Android Saga, when Yamcha's the first one to find the androids, and they're like, Yamcha's raising his power level, and they go over there, and, like, before they even get there, Yamcha already hasn't, like, the androids, like, put his, like, whole arm through Yamcha's stomach, and it's, like, coming out the other side, and Yamcha's just, like, there lifeless, and I'm like, that sounds about Yamcha. That sounds,
Yeah,
That's
that
about
sounds,
right.
Bought him some time. Well,
Yeah, whole-
this
Well, did
This
your
episode-
wolfing fist work?
All right, sorry, Lou, go on. We're talking about One Piece here.
this episode does end after this fight between Vivi and Luffy, right? Because it goes straight into Crocodile is in his rain base, and I have a question. Why doesn't anybody put two and two together that, one, Crocodile lives in a place called the Rain Base? Two,
No, he lives
it's surrounded by a
Rain Base
moat.
is the name of the Rain Base is the name of the city. Rain Dinners is the name of his little pyramids spot.
His little casino, right?
Yeah.
No, well, maybe I'm jumping ahead, but he has a fucking moat and like all of this water, and nobody's questioning, like, oh, maybe this warlord of the sea is actually like doing some dirty dick shit.
Here's the thing with
he's a hero.
Crocodile. He doesn't just have a moat. This is a deep ass. This is like a well. It's like deep, super deep, enough to house like 13 banana wanis, and like even like an underground like hallway or underwater hallway.
And we
This
find
is
out
not-
it could be freshwater too, because of the fact that he says it's a lake.
Yeah.
There's
So,
saltwater
I mean-
lakes.
Just saltwater lakes. Listen,
Not on the Grand Line. Well, there probably is.
Yeah, no, I was about to say on the Grand Line, I think there'd probably be more.
there would
than
be.
that.
There'd be nothing else. Look, it's not that hard to turn salt water into fresh water to drink. And especially if you live in a country that doesn't have any water, that's the first thing you want to do is go to the fucking casino and drink the water.
No, I mean, yeah, that's where you're going. That is true. But yeah, no, this is a clear thing. But I think he hides behind the fact that he's basically he is looked upon as a hero, by everybody.
So did Jeff Bezos, but going to space and
What?
getting me a package the next day doesn't make you a hero.
Do people think?
I don't know where that's going.
Yeah, I don't know. You really reached. You want me to cut that out for you?
You know who
leave
else
it
is?
in.
You know who
Leave
else
it
is
in.
reaching? Is we get everyone reaching for the Yuba water, and Luffy won't let him take it. And Nami's like, "Wow, you're really like showing some restraint there. That's surprising for you." Talking to Luffy, and this is one of my favorite Luffy moments in the whole arc. Is Luffy's like, "What? That's so rude that you would say that. How rude! You're rude!" And he like gets in Nami's face, calling her rude. I love that he's so offended.
I like that Usopp's trying to take it from him. He's like, "Gumma gumma, no way!" Just punching him in the face.
Would you be mad, Lewis, if I took a little sip where you weren't looking? Just a little sip. Just to wet my
Of
whistle.
Yuba water that an old man gave me? Yeah, probably.
I feel like the Yuba water is like, for some reason, I feel like it would taste like coconut water. It's like delicious coconut water.
What? It's been sitting in the sand
It's a
and then
special
some
water,
old
dude.
dusty dude
No, it's
just
just good
fucking
water,
made it
though.
drinkable?
Like, this is Dasani's level good.
Don't.
Dasani's
no,
comes
that's
from the
not-
fucking Hudson. It comes from the Hudson.
This is good.
This is some Zephyr Hills shit. No, actually, it's not Zephyr Hills. This is some fucking what's the
Fiji
vitamin water? Yeah.
Shout out to all the
Some
water
Fiji
brands
shit.
that we are plugging in this episode for free. Let's not.
Sponsor us.
Oh my god.
We're looking for that water sponsor. We're looking for Voss to sponsor us.
Yeah, we're in the Alabasta arc. This is the perfect time to sponsor us for some Voss water. Drink it. You'll love it.
You know what they love right now? A nice glass of Voss water. This episode of the very, very, very.
Oh no,
is by
cut this
Voss.
out. No, I'm not letting this bit go on any longer. No. Okay, so
All right, well, so Koza is
important
gearing
note
up for
about
a fight,
episode
and-
105. We get Panda Man. Get a Panda Man in the background.
What?
Right before Luffy and are you guys really missing all these Panda Mans?
Because I'm.
Oh yeah,
trying-
Panda Man running past.
I am. This isn't my eighth watch through. I'm trying to pay attention. What's the foreground, not the background.
Yeah.
Unlike
Panda
you
Man was
playing
pretty in the
Hades, we're
foreground in
paying
this
attention to the story, Bill.
And sometimes not even that.
Sorry, we're doing the deep digs. Panda Man does show up once they're trying to get into the casino. I did notice after Bill went.
Yeah, and then he's
"That's Panda
also
Man."
on the slot machine. He's one of the little icons on the slot machine too in the following
Yes.
episode.
Oh, you think he's
They gave him
famous?
they gave him profile.
He's
It
so
says
fan.
Panda.
This guy is everywhere.
You know what he probably is? He's probably like that clothing line they have in One Piece?
He's like the model or something.
He's like the main model. He's like that guy. That's why he's everywhere. He's like,
He's like,
he's got different shoots to be on. He's the spokesman. He might
Yeah.
be CEO.
He's like Brad Pitt in the 90s. Like every CK ad and, the milk ads and all that shit.
Oh, milk. All these milk ads.
Now we're talking
All
about
those
more
milk
ads. We're getting away from advertisement here, and we are getting into rain dinners. And I have a question for you guys. Mm-hmm. VIP or pirates? What you picking?
VIP.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna
going
be honest.
VIP.
I'm gonna do VIP too because if I go
Then you
into
guys
the
wouldn't have
pirates
gotten
thing,
caught in that trap that the Straw Hats did.
Well, I
'Cause
want
they
to know
went
what the
for pirates.
VIP trap would have been, They did go for pirates. They got trapdoored. My mind, I was like, oh, like if I was a pirate, I'd still go VIP because I'm like, there's probably champagne in the VIP room
yeah, and honestly, really for me,
and a couch.
it's that if I'm going to a place that says pirates, it's not that I don't want to go see cool pirates. It's that I feel real awkward, and that I go in there, and then everybody would look at us as soon as we come in, like they know we're not supposed to be there.
We're
Yeah,
like
they know
not
we're posers.
pirating.
We're not real
enough.
pirates.
They know
Yeah.
that's Bill's got an eye patch on, but they know his eyes behind that.
Yeah, they look at us and they're like, these guys don't fight. these guys eat mac and cheese.
No,
Annie's
I'm there
mac
with an
and
eye patch
cheese.
over my right eye, and we're all hanging out, being pirates. And then I take my eye patch off so I can make a photograph, and everyone's like,
And you go, oh my
He's
gosh.
got two eyes?
My eye grew back. Yeah, no, I'm going to
These
VIP.
guys aren't pirates. They're drinking Voss water.
"Oh my God, stop! I hate this bit.
all right.
Please stop." So
No, I do have a question for you guys because this happens just before the VIP pirate room. Is Koza? We see Koza is gearing up for a fight, yelling at a kid that reminds him of him when he was younger, and at the same time, Karoo shows up to King Cobra's palace to deliver the message. And King Cobra learns that Crocodile is responsible for the inevitable civil war that is about to come. And I have a question for you guys. Do you think that Cobra at this point should have met with Koza and talked to him about it? Because they do have Vivi as this middle ground where they both know, even if they might not trust each other, you can trust Vivi. Do you think they should have talked about it?
we already saw Koza come to Cobra, and they talk in a flashback.
But not with this information. This is a direct... And like Vivi's handwriting, a direct message from Karoo. Cobra could have done a one-on-one with Koza, or whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
bring
but
your crew, all this
they're
shit.
already gearing up for war at this point, and
So?
also Cobra goes missing like the next day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
that's
nothing
what.
to
Okay,
cat
the
is out of
next
the
day,
bag.
you can't say I don't want to talk to him because I went missing the day after. Like,
What?
if you have
What are you talking about, Luke?
your
This is-
argument right now was that he couldn't talk to him because the day later he went missing. That doesn't make any sense. I'm saying he gets this letter. You already know the rebel army's gearing up. Now you both have an enemy that you can go after. And it's coming directly from Vivi, a reliable source.
So it's
You're saying that because he procrastinated one day? Lou, how many things
Yeah.
are you
it's not
procrastinating
even,
on
it's
for
not
like
even
months?
procrastination. It's
I am doing a photo shoot for myself 2 years later, but here that's not the point.
There we go.
procrastination has like nothing to do with it. To get like your to get your army to all of a sudden turn back, and there's no saying that all of a sudden you won't have Crocodile and Koza as enemies, because what if it doesn't matter and Koza still wants to, like, you know,
You're going to tell me you're
Not
not
having
going to try
control.
because it might not matter?
No, I'm saying that wouldn't be my first decision. Like, you know, the people that we've been, you know, killing for, you know, this rebellion's been going on.
But they haven't been killing anybody. They haven't
They've been
killed
fighting,
anybody in the
haven't they?
verbally, but and like making statements, but they haven't been like physically fighting.
Have there been any battles?
No.
With the rebel army?
Not like on screen, but like it. I thought it's been going on there. I thought
No, I think they were
currently
just
in
building
Civil
up,
War.
building
Yeah,
up
the rebel armies
army.
just existed, but they haven't done any terrorist attacks or anything like that. He just knows they're on the radar of getting ready to overthrow the government. Or the government of Alabasta.
I don't.
Well, and also
That's
we
weird.
get it in if you remember back to Drum Island, there was kind of a one-off line where there was like a critical point at which like a lot more of the citizens went and joined the rebel army.
Yeah, I
therefore
remember
making
that.
their numbers equal to that of the king's army. Mm-hmm. And that's what really like sets this whole thing in motion, is that now they have equal forces, so they can, you know, theoretically take them out, you know, or like create a bloodbath of it, you know.
So up until then, they're an opposing. They're still an opposing army, though. They're still like listed enemies. So
Yeah, but Koza
that, like,
is also a child that Cobra has known since he was a child. And they have a common denominator, which is Vivi, who has a handwritten letter saying Mr. Zero is Crocodile and he's planning this attack that's going to be against the Rebel and Alabasta army.
So
I just feel like it would be easier if they met up and like, yo, you remember my daughter who's your really good friend? You know, I know your father. I set you guys up with Yuba.
No, if
Come on.
look, Lewis, I agree. Like, I agree 100%. But I'm saying in the day that between that and the next day where he is, like, you know, when he goes missing, I don't think those logistics can happen. Like, you know,
Why not? You're
to
the leader of a
you'd be
kingdom, and your
you'd be
first thing.
First of all, you are the leader of a kingdom where half the citizens don't believe, like, you know, are, you know, rebelling against you, basically. There's a whole
Yeah,
rebel.
exactly. That's your number one. So you have this proof that says otherwise. Why wouldn't that be your number one thing?
So you can't go around with a piece of paper saying, like, you know, you can't call a ceasefire with it, like, you know, and say, hey, I want to meet up in. You can't call him on the cell phone, like, you know.
Yeah, no, but you could find where he is. I mean, if Koza has the ability to have,
How long did it take Koro to go bring the note?
Karu.
that's different.
Kuru.
He's Kuru.
You keep calling him Kuro, and I'm imagining
sorry.
the cat man. I'm like, where's? Because I keep thinking that, like, you keep saying that, and I'm like, is Captain Kuro in this arc somehow? Maybe it's some detail that I've missed.
Or maybe the duck was actually Captain Kuro.
Oh man, don't
You're
disrespect
talking.
Kuro.
You're talking about a fucking duck that ran across the desert, which he did.
This is like the fastest duck in the world.
Yeah, this is the fastest
Yeah,
duck in the
he did a
world.
great. Yeah, okay, he did a great job. We're talking about a King Cobra, who has a whole fucking kingdom of people who can find out where the rebels are, which he probably already knows.
Yeah, he knows.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard to figure out where they are, considering he knows who's the lead of the fucking rebel army and where he stationed him in Yuba. I'm sure he had tabs on him the whole time.
You're acting as though, like, he has, like, he's king, but you're acting as though he has, like, supreme authority where he would be able to just kill whoever he wanted whenever he wanted.
I'm not saying
he wouldn't have
kill,
let
I'm
an
saying
army get
talk.
that big if he had that kind of control.
He did. He led an army because he loves his people and he understands why they're upset. But, like, he has definitive proof now. All right, we're taking this to another place. We should probably keep talking about One Piece, but all I'm gonna say is you're wrong. Anyway.
No, I'm not saying.
Well, let's just put a nice cap on that. Right
I'm not
there.
disagreeing with you. I'm really not. Like, I was just, it's, you know, in, like, if I'm playing.
I think
the
your
game of chess-
timeline's unrealistic, Lou. That's all.
The
That's all I'm
timeline
saying.
is an unrealistic timeline.
I'm looking at it in the same sense where I have a lot going on my plate in real life, right? Whether it be work, friends, all this stuff, I get a notification that says your account balance just went under or it's been compromised, whatever. That's my fucking first priority. If I know I'm about to be in a war with a rebellion army who thinks I did something I didn't do, and the first thing I got that morning was a note definitively saying that I didn't, that would be my priority number one. And it took 24 hours for him to disappear.
What do you do next? You make a phone call, right?
You look at fucking Pell or the other dude and you go, where's Koza? And then you find him and you talk to him.
It
takes 5
so you
minutes.
ask
As
Pell.
evidence.
Pell's going out.
Yeah, you bring this note that
wait
has
for Pell to
Vivi's
come
handwriting.
back with a response, and then
Pell's
you
a
start the
bird.
meeting. Yeah, no,
Pell's a bird.
You're
He
still
can
waiting
find
for
it.
him to go and come back.
It doesn't take 24 hours? No. Pell's a bird. He can fly anywhere he fucking wants.
It's not instantaneous.
It's not instantaneous. Maybe it takes 3 hours. 3 hours is still shorter than 24 hours. That's
3
all I'm
hours to
gonna
get
say.
to where?
I'm dropping the fucking mic. Anywhere that Koza's at, and he knows where Koza's at, because he knows the rebel army was being built in Yuba, where he stationed Koza, and he's probably keeping tabs because this is a rebellion against his government. Boom. Yeah.
No, that's okay.
right.
We're just gonna agree.
Boom is the
listeners,
sound that the
listeners-
Straw Hats make when they fall into the cage.
That is true. I'm just gonna say one last thing,
We get the
one last thing.
reveal that this cage is made of kairoseki, which is.
right.
We've seen some of this before a little bit with like the handcuffs in one of the previous arcs, but they didn't identify exactly why why a devil fruit user could be handcuffed. And we get the reveal with Smoker's staff that what makes his staff strong is that it's made of the same stuff that the sea is made of. Like this, it's like sea stone, and
Sea prism.
so that gives it like the essence of the sea, which is repels the abilities of devil fruit users. The similar way that they can't swim, this stone resonates or emits sort of something similar to that. And that's also what the cage that they're in is made out of. And that's why they can't just, go right out of it, or Smoker can't just use his smoke power to get through it.
They specify that the sea prism comes from one specific ocean. Did they say what ocean?
No, but I know.
Oh, so we do find out later on. Okay.
Oh, so I will say that birds fly 47 miles an hour, so we can go through.
Oh my god, are we still on this? Let's move along. This is worse than the advertisement bit.
Sorry, all right, we're gonna move on. I just wanted to say the last thing.
So Luffy is like super eager to fight Crocodile, and he keeps like running up to the bars and just like getting weak when he gets to the bars, and like he's just like basically like fainting every time he touches the bars, but he can't stop himself.
Yeah, no, I don't know why. It's again, Luffy trapped in, like I don't know why his Gum powers will let him just get through these bars. Like he should be able to Mr. Fantastic this and then just
but the thing is, when he touches the bars, he like loses his devil fruit power basically.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, that's the sea prism.
That's why. Okay. I'm sorry.
Which is like really funny too, because like, like him running to the bars, an average speed of a human is 28 miles per hour. But if it was Pell, it'd be 47.
Speaking of Pell, who is Pell?
Pell.
He's a bird with fucking machine guns that flies out of the sky. Like I like the scene.
Dude.
I think this is like one of the scenes that you could show someone and be like, yeah, this is One Piece. And it's just like Vivi's being chased by some thugs, and then out of nowhere she looks up and she's like, oh my god, and then a birdman with machine guns flies out of the sky and shoots all these thugs, and just like then turns into a man, and they're like, oh my god, we're friends.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that's One Piece.
I know I shit on zone types. Pell's fucking rad. He's got the machine
Finally,
guns.
this man says something sensible.
But it's because he added
Pell
on
is a good
machine
zone
guns.
type.
He's like, I'm a hawk. Also, I have guns. And you're like, hell yeah, you do.
He's a hawk man.
Let me tell you something.
Dude.
Every devil fruit power, it's about the utility. It's like, okay, I'm a bird.
Yes,
how
and.
can I make how can I make this bird freaking put guns on there? I'm like a fighter jet. Like that's so cool.
Red, white, and blue, baby.
With the reveal that this is the strongest warrior in Alabasta.
Oh, he's so cool.
Which is a little, first of all, he's the strongest warrior, so what does that mean? That means, suck it, Chaka, you're not the strongest warrior. But it is a little disrespectful to Igaram, I think, because,
Igaram got
Pell
blown up.
had 2 guns, and Igaram had like 8 in his hair alone.
Yeah, but he got blown up.
That's true.
But then again, Pell did get caught relatively quick, and then his back snapped. Almost
that'll
immediately.
do it.
Oh,
For
yeah.
Miss All Sunday to be like,
That was
and she was like,
brutal.
that was your best fighter. And then
She fucks his day up in like 2 seconds. It's like she like puts him in the Cripple Creek Ferry and like the sharpshooter and the figure 4 leg lock, and Pell's pretty much done.
Got him in a triangle. It's just a triangle. You know what I'm saying? Full arm bars.
We get the reveal that her fruit is the flower fruit, and she can make she can make limbs like bloom onto anything.
Which I was honestly thinking about this when I was rewatching this, I guess. How fucking useful this fruit power would be. Have you ever had that moment where it's like 3 a.m., you're in bed, you just woke up because you have to pee, but you have to get up? Could you, in theory...
Are you just saying you just manifest your... into like your
to go to the bathroom.
genitals into the bathroom?
I don't...
Yeah.
Your genitals are still
really
on your body, though.
But like your kidneys, you could also manifest. So like,
you're manifesting another pair of kidneys, not the ones that you have on you.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Oh, yeah. I guess you're right.
Plus, I would be so annoyed if you had that power. I go in the bathroom to go to the bathroom, and
there's 2 kidneys and a penis.
And Lou's dirty.
And then like a floating hand trying to feel around in the dark to see if I'm aiming right.
I don't want to belabor
And
this
he's
any, but where
still
does your
not
dick
aiming.
spawn? You're in this theory, your dick just spawns on the toilet seat. Then I gotta sit on that later. Like,
Well, no,
like,
I genuinely, I'm being dead ass serious. I did think about it. I was like, I would have to spawn my hand to feel. I could spawn my eyes. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to spawn my hand to feel around because if I use my eyes, I'm already.
and then you
asleep, I'm
spawn
gonna
your
wake
dick
up.
off of your hand.
Yeah, because I got to figure out. Okay, there's a toilet seat, and then if I use my eyes, it's the same thing as like when you have to go pee 3 a.m.
Lewis,
you open
your
your eyes
hand
and then you're
and
awake.
your penis is falling right into the toilet, and that's how that.
I'm
goes.
aiming.
Okay.
Well, and you know what?
drowning.
I can still go, and it's not going to be on me, and I aimed.
No,
So when you make
you'll
these
be in the
nude
toilet. You'll
photos
be
of that you're
underwater.
gonna
Your
do,
double
why don't
fist
you do
power
that
will make
one?
you drown.
All right. Well, if my kidneys aren't attached and they're like a copy of my kidneys, that kind of defeats the whole thing. So I guess I didn't think about that.
Guess what? We know. All right. So this, I like Miss All Sunday. She's very gray. She's very gray as a character.
In what way?
Because
You mean like Gray? Like you can't figure out like if she's good, she's bad, she's like
yeah,
Kristen Stewart.
yeah, because it's like you see like some tension between her and Crocodile later. You saw that she was speaking like she gave the Straw Hats basically a heads up like way early on about where like basically helping them out.
I mean, she even brings Vivi to Crocodile essentially,
Yeah, so it's
like ready to fight.
in an organization all about secrecy. She is the most secretive. That's I did notice that about her. Even when during the fight, she's like, she's laughing and she's like, I'm gonna go to the next town. Like she's like I'm not gonna get involved in this. It's not I guess they're partners, right? So wouldn't they be like
Well, but that's the thing too is Crocodile's not friends with like even the Baroque work agents, right? So even her being his partner, and we do find out later on she's a very strong person based off the bounty that she has. Like she could just specifically be his right-hand man because she's so powerful and not because they're friends. But we don't really know that.
Bill with the Baroque works. The partner, I know like the numbers for some reason, like, are they actual partners or are they like more like sidekicks?
What do you mean the numbers? The pairings of like, yeah, they're like partners. Yeah, they're like a duo.
Okay,
So they do all their work together.
okay, so like it would stand to say that Crocodile and Miss All Sunday are
Yeah,
running this whole
absolutely.
thing.
I mean, Crocodile is like running the show, but yeah, that's like his number two. Like, I mean, that's wrong to say because there is literally a number two, but that's like his first mate. Basically, is
well, then that wouldn't
Miss
be
All
his-
Sunday.
So yeah, so she is still under him.
Yeah, she's under him for sure. Yeah, but
okay,
we do
so
get the
that's-
reveal that she has the same bounty as him.
Yeah, so that's what I was wondering.
But she has the same bounty as him from 20 years prior, which means she's been doing some badass shit for a long time. Which that's why I'm saying, like, I think Crocodile, like, having her as his number two, like, makes sense. Doesn't necessarily mean they have to get along. Crocodile seems like he's pretty fucking well off and rich and all this stuff, so. I mean, he has water. He has a moat in a land of no water. That's
Baller move.
yeah, no, it is pretty baller. All that sand.
Another thing that we get here that I love, one of my favorite things in One Piece is we get the first impression. We get the Sanji impression by Luffy.
yeah.
I do like that.
Fake smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Next, I'm gonna do Zoro. Oni,
Yeah,
and
but
then
he
he
gets
just gets
cut
hit
off.
in the. Oni.
I don't know if it's jumping up, but shout out to Sanji this arc. Like,
Oh yeah,
100%.
he is
Great
so
Sanji
fucking
moments.
cool.
God, so smooth. The fact that he calls him
James
up
Bond.
and he's like, you've heard this voice before. Thank you for calling the damn restaurant. Like, oh, so fucking tight.
I'm still not over that bad translation. It should be the shitty restaurant, but
I still
but
get
yeah,
the shitty restaurant.
You've called the shitty restaurant. It's me, Mr. Prince. Oh man, it's so sick.
Mr. Prince.
Yeah, and that's like almost his alias for this whole saga, you know. Is because even when he comes down later and the Straw Hats are there, like instead of calling him Sanji, they're like Prince.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the I'll put it as my very, very, very of the week, the very, very, very dopest sunglasses.
I was literally gonna say this
so
if you
sick.
didn't, because he looks so sick with his sunglasses.
It's just soak it up, guys.
And the type of like frames they are too. You see like any other person, it looks kind of like pretty whack. He's got them. He's got like the fucking sunflower color yellow going on. You're like, it's perfect. Dude's perfect. Smooth as shit right now.
And then they immediately cut the tension by him, like, being a total goober to Nami. And
Well, before they do that too, the part that made me fucking laugh so hard was him like, oh, it sounds like you have my friends close by. Well, let me tell you what's gonna go down. And then you hear a gunshot go off, and you're like, he's dead.
Which is
They all
also such
lose
a
their
cool
shit.
move too, because it's like a comedy beat almost, but it's also like extra smooth planning on Sanji's part because
when you see the
baiting them
reverse.
out.
Yeah, when you see the reverse and you're like, oh, this was a funny thing, but it's like, oh no, he beat the shit out of some of the millions. Like the gunshot came from Sanji's hand and just got this other guy to fucking talk for him. Like, ooh. But then and then it immediately falls apart, like Justin was saying, where they're like Sanji, and he's like Nami Swan.
That's
so good.
That's like one of maybe the best thing about the show is them being able to switch tones like so fast.
So yeah, on a dime.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's all and it all makes sense for the characters.
While they're stuck in the cage, we have King Cobra, who has vanished at this point, showing up in town square essentially and talking to the villagers. Which
He shows up in
threw me through
Nanohana,
such
which is
a loop.
Nanohana is the town that the Straw Hats landed on in Alabasta.
Yeah, I remember first seeing this. Justin, how did you feel about this? Because you saw King Cobra just essentially telling everybody, like, yeah, you're all dumb, like, for trusting me.
Yeah, it was something weird. Like, I didn't know at the time. Like, I was like, is this like supposed to be like humor? Something was definitely off. I could tell that something was off like the whole time. And when like obviously that reveal happened, I was like, get the fuck out of here! Like, basically we got like a reverse shot of when Nami's mom was shot. It's like it goes to black and white, and and gets.
Oh yeah, Koza getting shot in front of like all of the people.
Oh
in
yeah,
town.
God.
Yeah, and so that was like crazy, and I thought Koza dead because it looked like it went right through him. Like I thought he blew a hole in him. Yeah, but
I mean, he did, just not on the side of his heart, I guess.
I'm glad I could live with this hole on the other side.
Yeah, I could totally make it. But yeah, like during that whole scene too, like it's so awesome to see like how detrimental it is because, earlier in not necessarily this episode but another one, Koza has like this whole discussion with that kid who's like, oh, I'm not afraid to fight, and he's like, well, that's where we differ. Like we are afraid, and we're putting our lives on the line for our country. And I don't know if that kid has a name. Bill, you might have an answer to this.
I don't know his name either, but yeah, they they like have built him up a little bit prior to this point,
Yeah.
so you can recognize him as a character.
And
Yeah.
and the crew behind Koza, that's his same gang from the flashback, right? Last
Not
time?
sure. I don't know if that
In
was
theory,
confirmed
there's
or not.
probably some overlap.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I think at least I saw like 2 or 3 of them. I was like, oh yeah, you guys. I guess you guys are just you're not going anywhere. You guys all hang out. Like,
No, they're fighting
Yeah,
the
of
rebel.
course.
They're fighting
They're
with
like
the
your
rebels.
high school
but,
friends.
yeah, they're high school friends. They,
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. Look at us. But yeah, Koza seeing the kid who, he notices it's Bon Clay, and he gets completely demolished by Mr. One and what's her face?
Miss Doublefinger.
Miss Doublefinger, yeah.
Which is that's honestly,
what day of the
if
week
you're
is
gonna
that?
run into anyone from Baroque Works, that's a bad set.
Yeah, you don't want to be around them. But I do love where they lay him down and they're like, don't speak, it's okay. And like Koza puts his hand on his head and he's like, this country needs to die. And it's just like, fuck. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, it's like this whole remembrance of like him younger and like being the scrappy kid who's like fighting for the right cause. And he isn't like, he even said like, I haven't changed. And like just that acknowledgement where it's like, you did it. You pushed him over the edge. Like you can't talk him out of what he's about to do. And a civil war breaks out. So sick.
yeah. No, you thought we would have ended the Civil War. They kill the main guy, right?
Well, he's hoping to end the civil war by being on the winning side, But seeing that child and saying like, let's end.
Yeah.
He says like, let's end this country, and I'm like, oh fuck, man. So much.
Well, I
weight
also
behind
love
that statement.
there's a scene that we get of Miss Doublefinger just walking through the fire with her like hip sway. Oh my god, I played it back like 3 times. It's like that's such a great just like little scene in and of itself.
Yeah. No, I like Miss Doublefinger a lot. What day of the week is she supposed to be?
I actually don't know. I think so. Some of these are like Japanese holidays. Like Golden Week is like a Japanese holiday. I'm not sure if Miss All Sunday refers to a specific holiday. Actually, I think Doublefinger is also. The thing is, like, I read about this like years ago because I was curious, and I did not retain that information. So unfortunately, I cannot speak in any authoritative way about
It
that.
is New Year's Day.
Okay,
So
Doublefinger.
that's a pretty big one.
So actually, it's what it actually refers to is Doublefinger January 1st. So 1/1.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
awesome.
Doublefinger. Yeah, that's
Damn.
actually pretty cool.
Well, while that's going on, you got Crocodile waving the key in front of everybody, essentially, and being like, "This is your only ticket out," and throws it into the fucking Banana Gator pit.
Well, he throws it on top of the trap door, and then he activates the trap door, which I thought was so funny. I was like, first of all, does he just have like the trap door switch? He like just mind controls his trap door, but also like think about like all the trap doors that they installed in this place, and like who's the guy who designed it? And they're like, you sure you want another trap door here? It's like, yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
do. I need my trap doors. Haven't you ever seen a Bond movie? I need trap doors.
Oh gosh.
But it's also because when that came up, I was also like, "What is there just a fucking trap door everywhere?" But when I thought about it, I was like, "No, that's the trap door that they threw Mr. 3 down as well." So that's established that there's a trap door there. Actually, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, you got to look at the paint. That way you know not to walk on it.
Yeah. Whenever you go down to Rain Dinner's like private cafe, like the aquarium part, you're like looking around your feet. You're like, is there a fucking
Where-
trap door?
where is that
out
tra-
here?
where was that
Where is it
trap
at?
door?
I know
Gosh.
it's around.
I haven't been here like 3 months. Yeah. You just go, hey, Crocodile, where's that trap door?
Well, Crocodile is a fucking asshole. Besides all the things that he does, no, it's like specifically he brings up an example and he's talking about an old man in Yuba who's like pointlessly digging for water. And talking about, do you think it's so crazy that Stan's like a sandstorm would hit Yuba so often, so directly. And you're like, fuck, why him? Why are you going after Toto?
This sends Luffy over the edge, though. I love it. Luffy just gets like more and more pissed, and you're like more and more hyped. You're like, yes, he's gonna fuck Crocodile up. It's gonna be amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's just like so personal and not related. Like, I think the whole idea was obviously he wants to wreck Yuba, this like new utopia that was supposed to show.
Yeah, and that's where
growth
the
and
rebel
stuff.
army was supposed to be initially, right? So
Yeah, I'm sure they moved.
He basically
because of all
moves
this
them. It could be tactical, if anything. Do we want to? Are we at the part of the big fight?
No, not yet, because I do want to say what's fucking tight is he starts flooding that room that they're locked into, and Luffy yells out to him, "If we die, who's gonna kick your ass?" And I'm like, oh, fucking tell him. Fucking tell him. And this corresponds with, Sanji making his big move, the reveal that on the opposite side of the phone was a gunshot that he controlled for the millions that he beat their ass. And one, such a flex to like call Crocodile up and be like, hey, remember me. Two, such an awesome moment for Chopper where he's like, Sanji says to Chopper, like, I need you to cause a distraction. I'm going to go in. And Chopper says to himself, like, do what you can. Which is like the whole conversation that he had with, like, Zoro. Yeah. And him standing there on the steps in Sanji's outfit, super big, looking sad. And he's like, I'm Mr. Prince.
No, he's not in Sanji's outfit. He's in his own outfit, but he's just like being super big and like he just is yelling, I'm Mr. Prince, I'm Mr. Prince, and he's just like giving everyone the hands, dude. He is just like,
he was wearing
he flexes the forearm.
Oh yeah, it is tight.
Oh,
that
yeah,
forearm
it's
is
like clotheslining.
Oh
everyone.
my god.
No, I thought he was wearing Sanji's outfit because
Is it?
later on he walks past a Crocodile and he's just regular Chopper, and his outfit's just dragging across the fucking dirt and sand, and he's just
maybe
like,
maybe you're actually right. Maybe you're
yeah,
right.
because
Actually,
I thought it
maybe
was
I'm
so
wrong.
funny. Like it was all like tight fitting on him. He looked super uncomfortable to begin with, and he's just standing on the bottom step, and he's like, I'm Mr. Prince," which is how I think I'm
Which
going
I
to
guess
start
means
introducing
that-
myself.
That just means that Sanji was wearing his suit under under those clothes the whole time.
Oh yeah. You
so
know, because when he when he took it off, it was like, when he just looked so cool. It's like when James Bond takes off his scuba suit, and he's wearing like his full suit underneath.
Yeah.
Oh man! But during this, there's this one. I don't want to say it's a throwaway scene, but I thought it was relative to like how fucking funny it was. Mr. One is sitting in a stagecoach being pulled by the cowboy turtle, and there's another Mr. One sitting in front of him, and they're just looking at each other, and he's like, when did you touch my face? And he's like, I didn't. I punched it, you muscle brain. And they start fighting.
First
It's
of all,
Bond
Lou
Clay.
loves this because this is exactly what Lou would do to me if he had the Bond Clay Devil Fruit. I'd be like playing a video game and being like frustrated, and I'd turn over to Lou, and Lou be looking at me with my own face.
When did you touch my face? Fists only! Fists only!
But he would make it look slightly like weirder, make you look like.
Oh no, he would
would
have
make-
it with my haircut from high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would make you look like the character. I'd have a bandana on, some fucking giant sunglasses, just looking at you, going,
Yeah.
Scrub. Oh my god. But yeah.
So what do we get into next?
Well, we're talking about, at this point, Sanji smashes the bridge. He's filling Vivian on all of this stuff, and he ends up getting the key back, but only at the cost of having Mr. 3 come out of a banana gator.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
He comes out in like a wax egg. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't look like a key.
He comes out looking so dehydrated. But the boy did it. He fucking did it. Mr. 3 made it through. But I love the realization where Usopp's like, he might have thrown the key, but he can make another one out of wax. And Sanji, it just cuts to Mr. 3 opening up the gate, and then they show you a close-up of Mr. 3 just beat to all hell.
Actually, I want to
Fucking
cover. There was
pretzel.
one gag that I wanted to mention that we kind of missed because we were talking about other stuff. But like when they're in the cage, and Crocodile's walking out, and Zoro's like, "If I could only cut through these bars," and it's like portrayal to like Zoro's like constantly trying to like cut like harder materials, right? He's like, "If I could only cut through these bars," and Luffy's like, "You can't cut through them. That's why we're stuck in here." Man, you're so dumb, Zoro. He's like, "You're such an idiot."
Oh, I have a question for you guys. Actually, I have a question for Justin. Not, sorry, I'm not trying to start another argument, but I am asking sincerely. They're stuck in a cage that is sea prism, so technically speaking, they can't use their fruits to the full potential. Who do you think would win, Zoro or Smokey?
Zoro
In a Hell in the Cell.
A Hell in
Yeah.
the Cell. I mean, you see those gains on Smokey still.
Yeah, he's fucking massive.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're going speed versus. Is Zoro? Does Zoro have his swords?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he still has
I
his
think
3
so.
swords.
And-
Smoker
and,
actually has his too.
Let's see. We're going back and forth. It's if I'm putting my money down on the line, right? I would say that I would be going with Zoro because I think Smoker's probably out of his element, like 10%. It's kind of like yeah, it's like your whole moveset is a little bit different. Like, you have to think a little bit different. You're probably
Yeah.
like if he had like a month to train, he could probably beat Zoro or like be close. But Zoro, like, he really hasn't lost a step, so he is a little bit more of an advantage.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way. Like, Smoker technically can still do what he does as long as he doesn't touch the cage, but you're backed into a fucking corner when you've got a guy with 3 swords coming at you.
It's the same thing as when Luffy was on the boat that wasn't like stable, and he's like, I can't use my powers like to their fullest extent.
Yeah,
because, like,
yeah.
I'm off balance. So that was really interesting.
Bill, you got
Smoker
any
got
objections?
some good. Well, Smoker got some really good portrayal here.
I
And
love
this is something that I
Smoker,
always
sorry.
forget about. And by the time this is like relevant in a way that like either of you would be like, "Oh shit, we're gonna be so far down the line that we're not even gonna remember this moment probably." But Smoker says, "Oh, the key is in that gator. Can't you hear it? Like, can't you hear that it's
like,
that's
what are
the
your
one?"
What are your ears for? Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
this
Luffy even
gives-
listens in and goes, "Yeah, I don't hear it."
I can't tell the difference. Yeah, I can't tell the difference.
But
'Cause
this
you're
gives
doing the same
Smoker this
thing, right?
portrayal that it'll means like it kind of means something way later, and it potentially power scales him up kind of higher. And actually, no, it'll mean something later in this arc. Actually, we'll get the first hint of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Well, Lou, you've already seen this, and maybe you're not thinking of what I'm thinking of, but
No.
I think it's in the next set of episodes.
You got to think this is my second watch through of the Alabasta arc, so I'm in the same boat as Justin, where it's like I was taking in what was happening beat by beat, and then now on the rewatch, I'm like, okay, all right, like everything just means a little bit more, but there's still, I'm positive of it. There's still so much that I'm just like, oh fuck, I'm probably gonna figure this shit out later, like.
Yeah, that's part of what makes watching One Piece through again every like 2 or 3 years really satisfying, is because there's all these like things that you were like, oh, this is like in the most recent chapter they referenced this thing,
Yeah. And like I don't want to derail this too much. We can jump right back in, but I do want to say that watching the Alabasta arc again, all of these episodes that we're doing for the podcast, like they're still relatively recent to me, within the last year, and rewatching them, this is a completely different rewatch through. Like it feels significantly different. There are certain parts where I'm like, yeah, this is what it is, but like there's a lot of it where I'm like, this makes so much more fucking sense. So just to put that out there, the rewatchability of One Piece is phenomenal. And our captain has probably rewatched
For real.
Alabasta like 7 fucking times at this point. So
I watched. This is my second time this year watching it because I watched it with you earlier in the year.
for my first watch through, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Smoker is on a different level. And it's really cool when they do like get their way out of the cage and, the room floods and they come out. Zoro pulls Smoker out and Usopp's like, why would you do that? He's the enemy. And you get this confrontation between Smoker and Zoro on like, why did you save me?
I love this.
Yeah, no.
Actually, this moment like will make me tear up a little bit. I was like, I didn't cry, but like I felt the tears forming because it's just like, oh, it just does so much for Luffy's character because Luffy's like, Zoro, get him, and Zoro's like, no, leave him be. He's our enemy.
Yeah.
And Luffy says he can't swim, he'll die. And that, like, the fact that Luffy even cares, you know what I mean, is just like,
yeah.
And it's like Luffy just intuitively understands something about Smoker, that he's like not actually that bad of a guy, even if he's like, after Luffy. Like Luffy can respect his enemies if, obviously he doesn't respect Crocodile because Crocodile's like a bad dude, but Smoker is, his heart is in the right place even if he has a different viewpoint than Luffy. And we also see this to a different extent with Ace, where Ace is like, well, I'm going to make Whitebeard the king of the pirates. And Luffy's like, well, I guess we'll have to fight. It's like he still loves Ace, but it's like, we'll have to fight someday. And on some level,
like
that's
got rooted.
what is...
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I feel like this love for... I don't want to say love, but there's this, like, respect towards Smoker that correlates, in my mind at least, with Kobe, who is somebody that is a friend because he's good-natured, has a good heart. He's on the wrong side towards, like, from Luffy's point of view, or, I mean, I don't want to say too much about the world government, but... he's on the wrong side, but he's got like this good heart, and it's like you can see it. And what's even better is like Luffy looking at Smoker, where he's like, "Go," And this is like a guy who plays by the books. He doesn't like deviate from that at all, and he lets the Straw Hats go. And Luffy is the last person like looking at him, and he's like, you're not unlikable, And Smoker gets so mad, he starts fighting Luffy.
That is a kind of a bad compliment.
No, that's great.
That's a Luffy compliment, and
That's not unlikable. It's like a...
You're not totally unlikable, That's a backhanded compliment. And
it's
for somebody like Smoker,
it's the smile that makes you like that. Really, like what you were talking about. What you were talking about, Bill. Like that's what actually got me. Now that like when he said he would die, because to me, like. That was a no-brainer that Luffy would go save him. Because, I mean, even his worst enemies, does he ever say that he's going to kill somebody? No, he always says, I'm going to kick your ass. Like, it's never, I don't think his intention is ever to kill anybody.
It's to teach a lesson.
Yeah, he needs to stop you from doing what you're doing. Yeah, and that's, I think that's, it's because Luffy's very pure-hearted, that's why, I feel like that's why they follow him, because Luffy really does the right thing morally, like almost always.
When Luffy says no, it's no.
When Luffy says no,
I don't know
ask
if I'd say that.
what is it about? Go ask Nami what Luffy was talking about, and then go talk to
So
Zoro.
we did skip over one other relevant thing that we kind of touched on a little bit of Smoker is convinced that something is going on more than just Crocodile trying to take over the country. And he references, he was like, do you know who that is? Miss All Sunday. He's like, that's Nico Robin. She has a bounty as high as
70 million.
Crocodile's. And this is we get the reveal of Miss All Sunday's name, Nico Robin, and Smoker says, "I'm convinced that this could be, depending on what Crocodile's actual motivation is, this could be like an issue for the whole world, not just for this country." And so when he gets out with Luffy and they're outside of rain dinners. The first thing Smoker does is he calls in all of the local navy to like come to Alabasta all at once.
For reinforcements.
He wants to summon like as much of the navy as he can because he's convinced that something very big is about to happen in Alabasta.
Which I love that he doesn't even say like, oh, we've got Nico Robin or like it's a Crocodile situation. He doesn't say anything actually. The other guy that he's like giving this information to is like, over 4 Straw Hats, and he's like, I didn't ask for your fucking opinion. He didn't say
he didn't ask for the
Navy's.
The Navy's opinion. So it wasn't even that. Yeah, he said I didn't ask for the Navy's opinion.
Yeah. Some real shit is on the line right now from what we've gotten out of like Smoker's reaction to this whole situation, you know?
And it still plays the Smoker. Honestly, he should say I didn't ask for your opinion. Like it's for being a captain. That guy shouldn't have. Like you'd be questioning an order or whatever. But even for exposition, it's I guess you do have to answer to them because they're the ones that are going to be sending the ships. It's admirals like, oh, Smoker says he needs this over there. They say, I don't fucking answer to Smoker.
Yeah. But I don't talk to that dude. He smokes 2 cigars every fucking day. He's crazy.
Oh, well, that's one of my favorite scenes is when he gets out and he's only got 1 cigar in his mouth, so he puts a second cigar in his mouth. Oh my god, sick. I was dying.
It made me think does Smoker always have 2 cigars in his mouth, or does he?
Yeah, he does.
No, yeah, he always has 2.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, he always, and I didn't notice that he only had 1.
Damn.
Dude, he gets out of the water. He's like, finally, I can put my second cigar in.
Gosh, always gotta have that one.
I love the double play off of they all get pulled out of the water, and they're all like regrouping, just like, is everybody okay? And Sanji looks at Nami and he's like, Nami, do you still have that perfume I gave you? And she's like, yeah, this, you want me to like apply it like this? And then like he does like, oh, it's so beautiful. I love that you're using it. But there's like that double play where it's like, it's actually, he's doing it because Chopper's separated from the group. And Chopper comes up with a fucking giant sand crab.
That's the best part. That is the
so
best
fucking good
part of this entire arc. Giant fucking sand crab.
Yeah.
That Chopper's driving.
Yes.
Chopper says, this is one of Lash's friends. And I was like, no. If it was one of Lash's friends, he'd be wearing a wife beater and smoking Newports. Like, there's no way this crab is Lash's friend. But I love that little like, it was like a throwaway gag that's like, Sanji's being a little perv, but like it's so nice that it like ties together, like they're separated and Chopper can find his way back to the group.
It's really smart. And again, like the utility of the characters
and thoughtful too.
Yeah, no, and it does, and it's a funny joke. It's like,
it's got layers, man.
Yeah. But you know what? It ends with a giant crab. And
it does.
I'm always a big fan of that.
Huge fan of that. You got like desert shrimp and now you've got desert crabs.
You got giant turtle.
And this is where the shit goes down, because
It
they
does.
start riding away on
Shit
this
goes
crab,
down.
and the hook out of nowhere just grabs Vivi. And Luffy acts immediately. He just like switches places with Vivi, and he's like, "Go on without me."
Yep.
And there's a great moment here where Vivi is extremely worried about the situation, and Luffy's like, "No, I'll handle this myself." And Nami tells Vivi not to worry, and she says something like, "I feel sorry for them because no one that's ever faced Luffy's come out on the winning side." And this is like, we start to see a lot, especially, in this arc, we start to see a lot of the Straw Hats like really upping their faith in Luffy, like, and like portraying it more outwardly, like, no, we believe in our captain.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask Justin this because I had this written down specifically because I also felt the same way when watching this for the first time, where at this point you've seen Luffy demolish, the big bad, right? And at this point, Luffy switches places. He's about to fight Crocodile, and Nami's saying like, yeah, I'd be more worried for the other people. Justin, did you feel the same way, where you're like, he's gonna be fine, he's gonna come out on top?
No, only because I was like, oh, we'll get 2 more arcs of Alabasta to go through, or 2 more episodes. So I was like, unless some cool big twist happens, like, that's and he takes him down here. And what I was really interested, like, my question always isn't if Luffy's gonna beat them, is like, what this show does better than a lot of other shows is how is he going to do it? And it's another situation where Luffy's main tools are not effective. Like, his punches are not literally not landing. When facing a crocodile. I did find it, like, I will, like, just to put a little damper on it, I was like, well, this is kind of like when he fought Smoker, right? I was like, this is kind of the same type of
a little bit
fight.
You have more on the line, and the only reason I say that is because Bill and I were on Discord with you while you were finishing up the last episode, and you were like, yeah, that's right, fuck him up, and it got silent for a second, and then I heard Justin go, ah! Ah! Luffy's hurt! Like, screaming.
Yeah, it's that ends up being like the trump card, but like up until that point, I was like, it's just that kind of fight. Like, it's just like,
So
again,
what do you mean when you say that it's just like the Smoker fight?
Well, it's
Just because they're both Logia users?
Because Smoker is trying to...
That word means nothing to me.
They're elemental
Logia
devil
users,
fruits.
yeah,
it's
Smoker's
like,
trying to, like, at least capture him, and I feel like Crocodile's like, no, I'm giving you 3 minutes, I'm gonna fucking kill you, like, and then that's it.
Well, I think the thing when I said they're like similar fights is Luffy is against something that, again, he can't hit. Like, he couldn't fight Smoker head on because he couldn't punch him. And that's a lot of Luffy's, like, moves is like,
he's a melee build, yeah.
Yeah, he is very much a melee build. He doesn't have other stuff really, like, to rely on, or at least nothing that we've seen yet. So, like, my question is, yes, so how is he going to do it? Like, how is he going to, like, beat this guy? Yeah, no, it actually kind of reminded me of, like, in a video game when you would face the main boss early on, and then
you lose.
When you're about to die, they say, oh, no time left for today, and then they go leave, and, like,
Yeah, like
fight
those boss fights that you're, like, supposed to lose.
Yeah, those boss fights you're supposed to lose, or yeah, that the health bar wasn't really, like, oh, that was cute, like the way they, like, they pretend like they didn't do that much damage or whatever, but yeah, I found that yeah, that's what I felt a
Yeah.
little bit on this one.
I don't see this being in any way related to the Smoker fight or like, scenes with Smoker, other than that they both of their devil fruits are Logia, which is the elemental, kind of devil fruit. I think and even just from Smoker's portrayal in this arc, it's like, I'm kind of dragging here, but Luffy doesn't have a real reason to fight Smoker. Like, he just escaped from him last time, and he kind of had Dragon to help him out, right? So, whereas
True.
Crocodile is a different power set in terms of, like, what his Devil Fruit does, but it's also, there's no getting around the fact that he has to beat Crocodile. There's no, like,
There's no running
Dragon's
away.
not going to come save him. There's no running away from this island. So, I see this as, like, this is the fight where we have to see them solve the Logia puzzle. Like, what does it mean to fight an elemental devil fruit user?
Yeah,
this is
especially
our-
in
this
his
is
element too,
So-
because like you have, I'm sorry, but like just like as an elemental type, and you're literally in your element. Like he's a sand fruit user, and he's in the desert. Everything surrounding them is literally on his side, and it's I don't know, it's detrimental towards Luffy, where he doesn't have the upper hand, because we even see, like, when Luffy comes out the gate, he's going hard. Like, he starts with, like, his gum punch, and then, like, all of a sudden it's gum bazooka, and then it's
Does the axe.
move with the yeah.
Oh, the
and it's
axe
just
is so
like-
great. It just, like, cuts him
and
in
it
half,
does
basically.
nothing. It does nothing. And you're like, oh my fuck, like, what's gonna happen? And you see what happens.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it's there. It's what you were saying, Bill. It's how do you solve that puzzle, and that's what I was thinking about. Like, that's what, instead of, like, if Luffy, like, I'd be more worried about him. I was like, so how's Luffy gonna get out of it? Like, that's what's more pressing on, like, on in my brain, like, because I find that the puzzle more, like, more interesting than
Yeah.
like, than anything else.
And to your point, Justin, too, like, Luffy even does that as well, where, like, we see him take a giant chomp out of out of Crocodile, where it's like,
love
all right,
that
well, if I
scene.
can't hit him and I can't, like, swing through him, like, maybe I can just fucking eat this dude. Like, I don't know. What
Yeah.
am I, like, left to do,
Yeah, he makes his hands into a net. Like, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, he's like, I'll catch you. And he's like, that's not going to work. Like, he's literally doing everything he can in his power scale that he can do to try to take out Crocodile.
Or at least what he
it's
can think of.
always to avail. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, eating sand sounds fucking terrible. You have to be completely committed to do that.
Well, that's life or death.
I eat sand all the time. There's no big deal.
It's like sand. But he does the. I mean, to me, it's so. What I was saying before is, like, it's similar. I was thinking it was similar to the Smoker fight until he does that Trump move of, like, taking all the water out of Luffy's arm, basically.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a different. Yeah, that's what made it a little bit more. That's what made it different than the other one.
And it's more brutal, too.
Oh yeah, no, it's horrible. It's completely completely horrible. And then what does Luffy do? Gets that Yuba water.
He does. Gets that arm back.
Oh yeah, and it gets all big, and he's like flexed it.
It gets all big.
Yeah, the Yuba water is basically like Michael Jordan's secret stuff from Space Jam.
Which is water also.
It's just water.
Yeah.
It's just pure water.
But he takes a little sippy sip, and
He gets that Popeye strength.
he just gets
straight
that
to the
Popeye
arm.
strength.
But Crocodile busting out Sables?
Yeah, Sables is the name of his big attack.
Sables. And telling Luffy, he's like, it's going straight to Yuba. And it's like, oh, what a fuck. The fight is between us. Why stop bringing in Toto? But,
you mentioning
yeah.
Sables though reminds me how like I just want to bring attention to how amazing Crocodile's Japanese voice actor is. Like I love this performance. Like like it's like a big thing in anime for the villain to say "nani," like what? But like whenever I think of someone saying "nani," I just think of Crocodile. Like
He's the definitive Nani.
and like the laugh, and like Shabbos. Like oh my god, there's just so many iconic like lines, like delivery. It's so sick.
And is that's where we leave off, right?
Well, almost, because, Sables is going, and Luffy is literally begging and pleading with Crocodile, because I think at this point, Luffy realizes there's nothing he can do to land a hit, and asking him, like, why? Why Toto? Like, why Yuba? Why are you doing this? And Crocodile just puts a fucking hook through his body.
Impales him.
And it ends with a silhouette of Luffy just hanging there bleeding to death. From Crocodile's silhouette. And it's just like,
iconic
fuck.
scene. Iconic. And also the way I love the way the whole sky looks during this. It's so like cinematic, and it is like I don't know, it's
the advantage.
It's like
of
all
having,
orangey. It has almost like a Star Wars like vibe to it on some level to me.
It's you get the desert, you get the desert adventure like Lawrence of Arabia, something along those lines, or Star Wars and Tatooine. You get a very cool landscape. Oda does a really good job of utilizing the environment in the art. So,
and like right after this happened too, so I finished this episode today before the podcast. I wanted to make sure it was still fresh in my mind before we started recording. And I left my room to see a sad Bill. And he was just so upset, and he's like, I ordered this $15 meal and they didn't give me rice. And the first thing I did was grabbed a projectile, and I was like, let's fucking get him. let's fuck him up. No one does that.
That's why at the top of the podcast I called him Rice Saver Lou, because Lou, I ordered this $15 rice bowl. They didn't put rice in the rice bowl, and I was just like, I didn't feel like going back. I didn't have a receipt or anything. I was just like, man, this is so horrible. This just feels so terrible. And Lou was like, I'll make you rice, and he made me some rice.
Let me tell you something. There is nothing worse than expecting like a particular food and it getting ruined, like like if they knocked it over or something like that, and you're like, well, I guess I can't eat that, and I'm gonna have to wait, I guess, or figure something else out. Like there's nothing like being hungry and like all of a sudden you can't eat.
Looking forward to a meal, and then it's just
ordering a rice
somehow.
bowl and there's no rice, or ordering a burrito and they didn't give you a burrito.
They didn't put anything in the tortilla.
It's just the tortilla.
That's how it felt, man. That's what it felt like.
It's it's never an empty feeling, right? The very, very, very strongest devil fruit rankings.
Well, speaking
Hell
of devil
yeah.
fruits, before we jump into this, there's one really, really, really important thing that we were told about devil fruits. Is Crocodile says, depending on one's training and how they're used, devil fruits can like become more powerful. And I'm not like you and the other fools who are only preoccupied with your abilities. So we get this idea that devil fruits can, like, depending on how one uses them and like trains with them, can be utilized far greater than their kind of obvious strength.
Yeah,
right?
their surface level, like your surface level ability is not the full extent of what you could do.
Yeah.
No, that was something. Yeah, that's very interesting. And we've been kind of toying with that idea throughout the podcast of like, can you do with this ability or this ability, like,
Yeah.
we've kind of like that the kilo fruit, basically making you fly or whatever. But
Yeah, maybe whisper fruit can make you speak any language.
Ooh.
Just think about how useful that would be if you can speak any language on planet Earth.
not as useful.
No
as
one
being
has a
able to
resume
talk to
that
any
good.
Animal.
Dude, that's what I'm
Nobody
saying.
can do
Nobody
that.
has a resume that good. But if you can do that, if you tap a little bit deeper into it, I think that fruit goes a little bit higher than the smooth fruit. But you know, who
Okay,
am I?
since you brought it up, let's talk about it. So currently, as the list stands, we have the flame fruit, the plum fruit, the gum fruit, bomb fruit, the wax fruit, the kilo fruit, clone fruit, chop fruit, munch fruit, ox fruit, smooth fruit, whisper fruit, human fruit, and the sickle fruit. So, in this arc, we get introduced to 3 new devil fruit powers. We have
Yes.
the sand fruit,
Ooh, so dry,
the flower fruit,
like a lotus.
and the bird fruit.
Rah!
So, where do we want to rank? What do we want to do first? Let's do the
We
bird
got to
first.
do sans. Oh, you're gonna do burp?
Yeah, we'll save the best for last.
All right, bird definitely over ox fruit. Saying that,
I agree with
Okay.
this.
hands down.
Better than
Might be munch better than that.
I think it beats chop. I don't think it beats clone. Well, hold on a second here. Let me think about it.
this is where it comes interesting.
Well, all right. What, let me hear what do you guys think first?
Oh, so the clone fruit, I'm still... The only thing I see the clone fruit for is being a secretive, like, operative, which he has for the Baroque Works agents, and it's fucking awesome, because he already uses it as... We see it in full effect as, you know, King Cobra,
Yeah,
and you're like...
the fullest
you can,
effect.
like...
Starting
you can
a war.
literally start a war with the clone fruit. And I think bird fruit has to go above chop and before clone. That's my 2 cents.
So
Justin,
you think
Okay.
you think it's still under kilo?
yeah, for sure. I think if anything, clone is before bird.
Yeah, he wants to put it under clone above chop.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a fine place for it.
Yeah. So I like that too. So we're going to put it underneath the clone fruit. Now,
Hell yeah, we are.
the flower fruit. Where do we
See, that would have been my number 1 if I could have pissed at 3 a.m. But now that I can't, if it's just a
be
copy of my genitals, it's like, what am I gonna do with it? Oh, then again, you could carry multiple things to your bedroom at night, which sounds pretty cool. Like a glass of water, some warm milk, maybe some mac and cheese. You got 3 hands.
I was gonna
now.
say Lou's thinking about all the different foods he could carry to his room, which is great because then there's gonna be no dishes left in the actual kitchen.
Damn right, I could wash them real quick with the flower fruit.
Oh yeah.
No, with all those hands, you still want to be washing the dishes. You'd just be playing you'd be playing the first and second player like on a video game.
Oh, that's actually
Bill,
smart.
think about all the video games you could play with the flower fruit, and all the sets of eyes you could put on those games. That's pretty big.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
I think flower fruit definitely goes above gum.
Oh, wow!
Whoa, that's big.
That's a big one.
I think it's on par with gum. And I know I know more about like
We
where
already
gum
talked about
goes
this, Bill.
later.
You can't talk about like some shit where like
yeah.
flower, like you like thinking about in the future. Think about for like what it is right now. We could always move it later.
Yeah, I think right now it goes under plume above gum.
Wow.
I think there's just such an incredibly high utility for it.
So yeah,
Explain. I want to know this utility.
Yeah, because
Well,
right
we're
now
already
I'll let
talking
you-
about all
all
the
I've
things you
seen-
can do with it.
But like right now, all we have seen and what we know from example is you can like crack somebody's back like a foam roller.
You can spawn your limbs on somebody else's body, so that makes you automatically like think of how many powers that negates. Like the fact that your body is part of somebody else's body. So like so many powers are just negated. I mean, like why would Luffy's power not, why would the Gum Fruit not be, if she just like grabs his arms, like, that's half the battle right there. And if you have any battle prowess on top of that, you're just it's basically a way that you can put literally every one of your opponents in handcuffs. From the get-go. Right. I mean,
see, my brain was just going straight to you using it and like putting your mouth next to somebody's ear and being like, "Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Bill's gonna tell you about the flower." Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that was great. That was really good. Actually, like I was not a big fan of this one. I was gonna put it above Chop Fruit. Like I was gonna put it there, so below Bird Fruit. So it was gonna be like more than halfway down the list. So yeah, we have some rectifying to do.
I know, but like Bill is bringing up a good point. Where like we even saw it with Bird Person, Pell, where it's like this is your strongest warrior, and immediately fucking subdued with like 8 arms, just subdued immediately.
Not just subdued, but also made his own power against him, because he was flying like super fast, and then she made it so he couldn't stop, like he couldn't land, so he just flew face first into a building going as fast as he could. I mean, that's just one example of like all the ways that you could like stop people's powers from working,
Yeah, no, it's
I mean, it's the Cripple Creek Fairy fruit. It's gonna stop you dead in your tracks. So right. I mean, like I agree with Bill. I think that's fair. Justin, what do you think?
So you're saying it's gonna be, you want it to be above Gum Fruit and
below Plume.
Below Plume.
Because I think that's where the power reaches its kind of limit, is when you get against a Logia type, I think that's kind of where it reaches its like, it doesn't really do anything against them.
But question, let's say you have the Kilo fruit. Could you make yourself heavy and break out of a normal person's grip from blocking you?
Yeah, but then as soon as you make yourself like a regular weight again, they just grab you again. I mean, theoretically, if that's the thing, then couldn't you like make them punch themselves, like by spawning a limb on them that's just as heavy and just, All
right, what about Chop? Somebody tries to grab you and keep you in a headlock and you just break apart.
Well, didn't Nami put all those pieces together with rope? So you could.
That's because he wasn't paying attention to it. He wasn't paying attention to it. But technically speaking, if you were going to attack and she grabbed you, you could chop your way out of that and reassemble and keep going.
So
or not even reassemble.
Little chopped up parts.
True.
So if you're saying, Lou, that it's stronger than the Gum Fruit, then I'm already outvoted, and that's where it'll go. That's why I just wanted to make sure.
Now I'm rethinking it, because even Smooth Fruit, if she tries to grab you and she's just slipping off because she can't grab you.
True.
So now I'm thinking,
but now we're talking only combat ability, which is, I think we're already saying that this has more utility than just combat.
Yeah. What I'm saying is I agree with you being above Gum, but now I'm rethinking some of these others, specifically Smooth Fruit, where it's like you might be smooth, but somebody like Ox Fruit, who I know can't fucking land a hit on you because it'll just slide right off.
You just look too cool.
Yeah, you're already higher up on the list. Smooth would be higher up on the list, but I believe Flower Fruit would be higher than Gum.
Okay. So, Flower will be above the Gum Fruit. Or we'll put that there. And last one we will talk about is, of course, the Sand Fruit, where do we want to rank the sand fruit?
Justin, what do you think? I want to hear your first opinion on sand fruit.
Sand fruit, like, you know, I think just by default it goes above, you know, the gum fruit. I mean, for every reason that we saw in the final episode of this arc.
Fair.
So, like, that one I think is like a no-brainer. So it definitely goes above that. And so, like, you know, and what Bill is saying is, like, then it's basically, then it goes above flower by default also, for almost the same reason. Yeah,
you can't hold a sand person who turns into sand.
Those, the Logia, you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Logia types are pretty strong, just even on surface level. But yeah, I think it would at least be in that stratosphere. So, does everybody agree with that?
I totally agree with that.
Now, do we think it's better than the plum fruit? Here's the next question.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know. Oh! Well, yeah, I guess if he can make sand pits and all this other shit, you know?
Yeah, plus
like,
the
you don't have a
fruit,
smoke land you can fight on.
With the weakness of plume fruit is it doesn't have any mass to it. It doesn't have anything like... I mean, I guess we see him kind of like engulf people in the smoke and kind of like catch them that way. But I don't think that's nearly as effective as just making a mass of sand and like making sandstorms and like all the other things he can do.
And Bill's already used to being inside of a plume cloud walking through the streets of New York where everybody's fucking blowing cigarette smoke into your face.
Yeah.
Oh, but I guess, yeah, you can, with the plume, even if you can like choke people, like, you know, through the smoke, the sand, you could do the same thing.
They can't move.
Yeah, that's sand. Yeah, just get sand in your lungs. So, all right, are we saying it's better than the flame fruit though?
I don't think so.
Me neither.
Yeah, me neither.
I think you could make the argument that sand could beat flame in a 1v1, but
you could even put out a campfire with sand. So, I mean,
well, you can also with fire, you can make that sand into glass. Yeah,
that's true.
So yeah, that's
which hurts. So I don't know if that helps, but
yeah. Well, it's not still touching the flame, but either way. So I think we're comfortable with it being at number 2, right below the flame.
Yeah.
I feel good about that.
And again, these things can always be audited if we want to make a strong case.
Oh, they will. They will be audited.
They will be audited. And, you know, things can be rearranged. We'll come up with some bylaws for how you can get a devil fruit if you want to make an argument for a devil fruit.
And while you're already in there, Justin, bump
Don't
that
say anything
smooth.
about smooth. No, we gotta make a.
Bump
I gotta write the bylaws.
What happened? You literally just said this will change as we go along.
Exactly,
fruit.
but I said we're gonna have because then all of a sudden we're just moving everything around and then it'll never stop.
Oh my god! So when can I make a case for smooth?
That's what I'm saying. I have to create some bylaws. I will announce it on the podcast, so that the viewers and we know that we might have to call a quorum.
This is a fucking kangaroo court. That's all I'm gonna say.
And we will follow the rules.
All right. You're my first
official
mate.
Rankings.
You're my first mate. I gotta take your order. All right.
Yes,
I understand.
No, I'm being a little lenient with you. Don't worry. It's insubordination. I'm not holding it against you. Don't worry.
Thanks, first mate.
So the official list now is number 1, flame fruit. Number 2, sand fruit. Number 3, plum fruit. Number 4, flower fruit. Number 5, gum fruit. Number 6, bomb fruit. Number 7, wax fruit. Number 8, kilo fruit. Number 9, clone fruit. Number 10, bird fruit. Number 11, chop fruit. Number 12, munch fruit. Number 13, ox fruit. Number 15, Smooth fruit. Number 16, whisper fruit. 17, human fruit. 18, sickle fruit. There you go.
Bill, just know how funny this is gonna be when we have like 130 fruits, and Justin's gonna read through all of them.
It's gonna be even more fun. I'm gonna do it.
Oh,
I'll
boy.
do it.
Oh boy. Oh jeez.
Well, you know what I'll do? All right. So once we get past, how many do we have here? 18. Once we get past 20, I'll do it at the end of the episode. So even after the sign off. So if somebody needs to know the definitive list.
Yeah.
Or we just
I mean,
post-
I think most people would just care about the top 10. You know.
No, but
But,
if we're ranking, if we got a new one, and it
we're
doesn't
doing
rank
the
in
whole thing.
top
Yeah.
10,
No, I'm not saying don't not do it. I'm just saying I think we should start focusing more on the top 10 because it's gonna get wild pretty quick.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do that, and then we'll just post the ranking of everything else, on the Instagram.
Yeah.
So, that was our new ranking of the very, very, very strongest devil fruits. Man, gum fruit took a hit. I did not think it would be going down this far.
But you know what?
Sell
Just
your
like
stock in
rubber,
gum fruit now, boys.
It might bounce.
Sell,
back.
sell.
It might bounce back.
It might bounce back up. Who knows?
Hey, it's
in
rubber.
this economy.
It might bounce back.
It might bounce back. So what are we focusing on next week, boys?
The next episode of the very, very, very strongest One Piece podcast, we'll be covering episodes 111. Oh, wow. I really, really messed that one up.
Leave it in.
Sorry. We're covering episodes 111 to 120.
Aw, shit.
Alabasta.
Things are
part
about
3.
to pop off in Alabasta.
Yeah, and Lewis, if somebody wanted to catch up on the Alabasta arc with us, or they wanted to pop in and see where they could listen to the show, where would they go?
You know, this is funny because I get this question often. I always tell people we're live every Friday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. And if you want the show as soon as it's live, subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. That way you get the show as soon as it publishes. So follow us on Instagram at Very Strongest Pod and give us a shout out if you like the show. Please do. Please. We're asking.
Beautiful. We're not asking. We're begging.
We're begging.
Again, we're a show that's not above that.
I'm on my knees, baby.
That's fantastic. I can't wait till
Yeah.
we get to more of Alabasta. I don't know what how Luffy is going to get out of being basically strung up on a hook.
Yeah.
Sometimes I only wish Shanks was there. So he can go to Crocodile, look him straight in the eye, and say no, because when Shanks says no, see you next week.